When you decide to be something, you can be it. That's what they don't tell you in the church. When I was your age, they would say we could become cops or criminals. Today, what I'm saying to you is this. When you're facing a loaded gun, what's the difference?
What is it, 120?
120.
Jesus Christ, I'm
man.
so out of
It's
it.
like a quarter of a joint.
I was in Disneyland 24 hours ago, and here I am recording a podcast on a broken computer.
Just like old times.
Sorry for a little light in the sound effects area, because Jesus Christ, Tyler Wilde got a bunch of compliments for his hosting duties last week, which I agree with. Oh, and I should say we have a brand new sponsor this week.
Oh, do we?
Do we ever?
My goodness.
It is Blade Kitten from Atari.
Everything's coming up, no money for us.
Blade Kitten is totally available on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. For more information, go to bladekitten.com. Blade Kitten is rated T for teen. Thank you, Blade Kitten, for sponsoring TalkRadar.
Yes, thank you for bothering.
But I'm Christopher Antista.
I'm Michael Rapara. I decided I'd actually pronounce my name right this week.
Say it again?
Repara.
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 You have to roll the R.
Actually, repara.
And I'm Brett Elston.
Estonia.
Yes, Roberto Elston.
Roberto.
I can tell Tyler Wilde's been here because there's a Canadian nickel in this seat.
There's a Canadian nickel and bottle caps.
Does that mean somebody defeated him? Poor. He's on vacation again. I don't know what the hell we're doing. You know what? We're going to tell you a little bit what our plans are for Friday.
Oh, my goodness.
Because they involve Charlie Barrett, and he's outside the room. By the time you're hearing this, we will be on a plane somewhere. This is exciting, I swear to Christ. I don't know if I'll nerd out about Disneyland. We could just get on with things. I had a great time.
Maybe when we get to the third segment.
Third, maybe?
Sure. What?
We get games, because this is about games.
It is about games.
It's about games. I just finished a Kingdom Hearts game review that everybody hated and corrected me grammatically on.
Oh, good. It was
It's nice. I wrote it on a cab ride home from PAX.
It was an good review.
And good review.
Man, why won't you make Uncharted 3, Chris?
When's am I going to do it?
When's?
I wins.
Yeah, when's you going to use that?
I wins.
Oh, before we actually start with any serious topics, I should probably give an overdue shout-out to Breener for staying up all night during our 24-hour marathon on the PS3, which was kind of underpopulated. So, thank you for doing that. And here's your overdue recognition. You're awesome.
I'll stop doing that. Jesus.
I played some Reach with him over the weekend, along with Batman and Lando. And,
I played with tons of people on Friday.
Yeah, Friday was a ton of people.
Do you want to know my secret about that?
It was a ton of fun.
I lost a lot of money. Don't know how we're going to do to pull this weekend off.
Are we going to talk about what we're doing this weekend?
My greatest thing ever. You guys are all busy. We were playing Halo Reach, and I knew you guys were busy in the office. I'm on vacation. I say I'll play. Let Michael keep writing. I don't know, his Mafia 2 footwear guide, or whatever the fuck you're doing, and I'll play.
It's
Halo
actually
Reach
up to Dickwear guide now.
if I can expense it.
Yeah.
And I expensed it.
If
you bought it at Best Buy, you got a free $20 gift certificate. I profited.
Nice.
This is that's like one of the first perks in a while. I profited off of Halo.
Congratulations.
Nice. But so by the time this podcast posts,
Do you want to say it now?
are we going to do it?
The thing is, I don't know when this is going to post, so I want to say it in the second segment. So just in case somebody gets the file,
Okay, fine.
we're definitely in the air.
Sure.
Put a little bit of buffer space
All right.
in between.
Plane leaves at 1:15.
You know, who else we got to plug? Little Dan Amrick.
Oh.
Little Dan Amrick. Dan Amrick.
OneOfSwords.com.
What is he doing exactly, Elston? Did you take a look at that?
He's doing the Guitar Hero 400. He's giving away via Twitter. One of Swords. He's giving away 400 DLC.
400 DLC songs for Guitar Hero. I think it's compatible with 5.
It's something like, definitely look at his site for the details.
I have
but
the details.
Warriors of Rock comes out next week, the 28th, and from what I understand, all the DLC is compatible with it.
Yeah.
So he's got just a shit ton of Guitar Hero DLC that he's just giving away for free, just posting the codes on Twitter. So if you're if you're on Twitter or just want free songs, follow his Twitter or
Free songs.
I guess his blog at One of Swords.
I love the way he explained it. He has 400 songs to give away, and they're mostly in track packs. But even so, Dan says, if I give away one DLC code every 15 minutes, the event will last for 35 hours straight, which is crazy. So let's do it. And that's what it's 35 hours. Dan on Twitter, I think you followed the hashtag. Go to oneofswords.com, check that out. It starts at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern on Saturday, September 25th.
Okay.
And apparently, I don't know how he's going to do it, but Dan will be up until Sunday night at 8:45 Pacific. Daniel Amrick. Oh, and these are PS3 codes, and I think they'll only work North American entrance only. So
that is taking a sliver out of the size.
I'm just
slicing up that pie. PS3 only, US only.
Just drop by and tell Dan Amrick.
Hi.
Yeah, let's do that. We have a top 7 this week.
Sure did.
Top 7. What is it?
Well, this week's was by
Water Levels That Don't Suck, I think.
Yes,
Water
by
Levels That
Dave
Don't
Houghton
Suck.
in the UK.
I know Shane Patterson and I had gone off on like that all water levels suck.
Yes.
And it's just sort of like this. It's like if somebody made a full-on flight game in molasses.
I was going to say in syrup.
It's can never really get grasp that extra axis.
The fun of swimming is like refreshing and the waves crashing over you and your hair getting wet and just like that's what's
Here's
fun.
what I got. This is to me, it's not even on the list, but one of the most fun underwater levels. Almost hasn't been bested yet.
Mario Brothers.
I'm not sure if it gets better than my friend.
Nope.
I am not sure about that at all. And
well, number 7 on the list.
Number 7. Wait, I want to take issue. There's one he's lacking.
Okay.
And yes, I just got back from Disneyland. He didn't include Kingdom Hearts 2's Little Mermaid level, where the first game had a decent "You're a mermaid, you're underwater" action.
Right.
This Kingdom Hearts 2 is known for its phenomenal music theme game. In the Little Mermaid, you sing with Ariel and Sebastian. Let's hear this.
Swim this way, we'll dance and we'll play. Easy, come on and just take a chance and shake a fin.
And if you can't reach the target, use magic!
Awkward. Dense.
Interestingly, that entry was in my the worst water levels of all time.
Yeah.
Which also to tie in with number 7.
No, wait. Here we go.
Number 7.
This is number 7 is an entry I had in my worst water levels of all time somehow.
Oh no!
It is Down the Tubes tube race from Earthworm Jim.
Whoopee!
Yeah. Although
he admits
he specifies that it's the HD remake, which was gorgeous. And the 16-bit one was a huge pain in the ass. It's like
it's bubbles.
You're just like in everything in water, nothing controls the same. Water levels in general, just take the controls you knew and liked and throw them completely out, and then try to navigate a horrible.
You get to move up and down.
Yeah, but so you're inside this tube with these jets, and you move the jets in these 360-degree motions and navigate through these really tight, narrow spaces, and everything you hit cracks the glass, and blah blah blah.
I actually am stuck there on the HD. I played all the way up to that point in the HD version in one sitting, and well, more on Earthworm. Go for it.
No, it's like originally it was super fragile, and it was really super fragile.
Don't get me started.
I know.
No.
But apparently the HD one, when I played it, and I loved the HD remake, I thought, wow, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I just must be getting better. But apparently it was actually addressed. And now it's kind of a cool. Plus the music is really good. It's one of Tommy Tallarico's best works.
Tommy Tallarico.
Yeah, I did notice he spends like the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs talking about how shit it is. And then he's just like, yeah, but the HD version fixes the controls and the collision detection, so it's actually pretty good.
But it's a unique one. It's
a cool
idea. As far as the water level goes, isn't there like you gotta unlock a hamster to knock down a door to eat a villain?
Yeah, the whole area is kind of neat, but the actual water part where you're in the tube or in that bubble with the jets around it.
It's nice with an analog stick, I'll say that.
Yeah, that certainly helps.
Yeah.
And also I don't know. They just fixed. I
forgot. And one thing I forgot that I loved about Earthworm Jim, and I did download this, and I recorded this months ago when it came out, and I've never played it before until right now. In between the levels.
Oh yeah. Groovy. Right. And you mash on the buttons.
Groovy.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, this is my television. My girlfriend is in the other room wondering what the fuck is happening.
I had the same thing sitting on the couch. sitting sitting on the couch, and like Carolyn in the kitchen, which is connected to the living room, like at the table at the kitchen, and I'm in between every level. I just want to push it once. I want to push it like 700 times.
I just have vague memories of my mom reacting to that. And I was a teenager, like, it's going groovy.
Yeah, that's right. I'm as good as Tyler Wilde. You don't even need him anymore, right?
Well, to be fair, your reading the Halo Reach comments over the Inception music was probably the highlight of that episode.
Yeah, did that go over
In
well?
fact, I think that should be one of the YouTube clips that we post sometime.
I hope
I
so.
think that should be a regular feature.
Because that shit was hilarious.
Did it come out? It did come out okay.
I listened to it separately over the weekend. It was still really funny.
There was some nice compliments on Twitter at cntista.com. Let me tell you, follow us this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
There might be nudity. There might be nudity.
There
Twitter.
There will be at least one regret. I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, dude, better be.
Number
better
6.
Be, otherwise, this will not be worth it.
Number 6 is Koopa Beach from Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I really love this level. It really is good, and I mean, it doesn't engage in the same buffoonery that most water levels do, where they just everything you liked, it's now thrown out the window. It's just a really first the music is very beachy, calypso-y kind of. It fits perfect. But then just little touches, like the waves are coming up and down on the sand, and it looks like there's a
did you play it enough to where like you could sort of notice your time on certain laps when the waves would be in
like you're watching the waves come in and out, and that would like
sometimes they'd reveal a question block.
And little fish popping out, cheeps popping up out of the water, and like going through the water made a different sound. These little splashing noises. It's 16 bits, so that's a time when those details mattered before everything just became.
Was that a little Mode 7?
Oh, it was a lot of Mode 7.
Yeah.
It was nothing but Mode 7.
Just didn't want to get corrected.
No, you're right.
For no reason.
Right. You fine.
All right.
That's really all I got on. I mean, I totally agree, though. It's
in terms of an aquatic. It's not underwater,
right.
Which I started out not being able to view the internet first of all, and trying to find a sound clip that just yelled underwater, and all I could think of was my Mr. Show Devastator 2 whole minutes underwater. Right it. But yeah, couldn't find it.
Nothing from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Secrets alone, known only to me. Oh, I love that fucking movie. Go see it. It's the Little Nemo ride. There's still a reference. There's still a lot of 20,000 Leagues stuff under there. It's really boring.
We were at the Disney Walt Disney Museum in San Francisco, and all there was like a corner of a room. Here's the Nautilus. Next.
God damn it! It's such a cool vessel, dude. It's designed to go full speed underneath ships and rip them open until they fall into the ocean and spill their cargo. It's like a submarine designed to split a ship's throat.
Wow.
And it looks like an alligator. How is there anything cooler than that, kid? You suck.
Well, you said you lost followers tweeting Disneyland.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I mean, it was pretty consistent. And I appreciated what you said. You said it was very sweet. What you said, you'd like it.
They don't appreciate traditional blamimation.
No, it was when you said that like you were having fun watching me have fun, and you wish that there was like something Star Trek and Marvel
equivalent to that,
and
where it's like a park that's not just rides, and like Universal Studios is like here's the thing with Spider-Man on it, but where's the reverence to Spider-Man history?
And I'm telling you, dude, it is so coming.
I hope so.
There's not a piece of Brer Rabbit merchandise in that fucking park, but in every section, you can here's the little girl section,
right?
Little boy section, and every one I went into, more and more Marvel shit, which is, I don't know, it was like sort of exciting to see. And not only that, something I hadn't seen before, and I have been to the Disney park before, kids dressed up like the characters.
Right.
So there's kids dressed up like fucking Marvel characters.
That makes me happy.
And I was trying to explain it to I understand church and sports, but I hate them and their rituals and their outfits. But Comic-Con, I get dressing up like your favorite character and going and playing around with people. And that's so fucking excited me. People going to Disneyland dressed up like their favorite characters. And it's fucking happening.
I hope they can wrestle that license away from whoever, Universal or whatever.
In California, yes. East of the Mississippi, that's all Universal's got.
And similarly, I want something with that level of Star Trek. It's like these things have decades of continuity to draw upon, and the closest we got was the Star Trek experience in Vegas.
That's gone?
Oh, it's way gone, yeah.
Really?
What's great about that thing was really cool. They made a fake DS9 Quarks bar with functional restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved my mic, so I might have got louder.
Sorry.
And it looked and felt very Star Trek-y, and the waiters and waitresses were dressed in makeup, and they gave you crazy drinks, spewing dry ice everywhere. There was a museum up top, tons of like hanging spaceship models, and
Wrong button.
obviously it was popular through the it opened in '97, I think, right when Star Trek was starting to tail off. And then it was just there when DS9, Voyager were canceled, and well, not canceled, but they were just over. They ran for 7 years each, and then Enterprise was on, which no one liked. And then that's the time period they finally brought this, come celebrate Star Trek right when everyone's getting tired of it, because Paramount ran it into the fucking ground. And then guess when they closed it? 6 months before the new movie came out.
Wow.
They kept that fucker open through the most languishing years of Star Trek's existence, and then right before the 2009 blockbuster comes out, well, close it up.
They had the economy as a defense.
Yeah.
But you know what? Star Trek wasn't about the economy.
It sure wasn't.
We all work for the betterment of man.
There's nothing better than Star Trek.
Oh, wait, and
Anyway.
that was Mario Kart.
Yeah. Now you know why it's so successful.
Number 5, holy shit. I have a feeling one of you guys are going to have to come to the table.
This is a
Michael Raparez, help me out here, buddy.
It's the underwater facility from Dino Crisis 2.
Oh, fuck, I never played that game.
I never did
right.
either.
All right.
The video he has is just kind of like I'm not seeing it. He's talking about how it's this whole new dimension of freedom, and
I think
all I see is a character plodding around.
I couldn't get sound clips, but what it looked like third person wise was what it really is like to play as a Big Daddy. You're affected by water, you're attached to the ground, and the enemies sort of reflect the underwater environment. And I don't think a lot of games had done that before. And Dino Crisis, I don't understand. Like there should be a new Dino Crisis game every 4 weeks. I don't know why killing dinosaurs fell out of fashion.
Well, yeah, it is strange. I think because what was that third one, in space or something?
Yeah.
And then
But where do you go?
They made Dino Stalker, and that sold like crap because it's a light gun game.
I got it. Next Dino Crisis game. In the president's bloodstream. Fuck yeah,
Dinosaurs.
Dude. It will rule.
Intelligent dinosaur sharks.
Obamasaur.
Fun story
Okay,
about
it looks like there is jumping, but
fun Dino Crisis anecdote. When I was at Toys R
hear it,
Us,
buddy.
back in Toys R Us days.
You worked at Toys R Us?
No, yeah, for 5 years.
Oh, man.
buddy. Also, coming in November, important announcement regarding Toys R Us
okay.
from me.
Yes.
Actually, it's not important. Don't worry.
All right.
I already know what it is.
Don't wait.
It's so
Okay.
ridiculously important.
Don't wait for it. Oh, that's a separate. I think the
I'm
thing
waiting
that-
for it.
Okay.
That's an October announcement.
That's
Oh.
way more important.
The October one is much more important.
That's true.
Anyway, wow, I fucking slipped really hard. Dino Crisis. When we were working there, my friend Josh, creative assassin in the forums, he something like this lady came to ask. Hopefully, I haven't told this before. This lady came to ask for Dino Crisis, but was calling it Dino Crisis. Yeah, and then it was after Dino Crisis 2 came out, and she was like, it was like Christmas time when people come in with lists of games that both don't exist and never came out, and for the wrong platforms.
It's
And
like
just,
their kids just like, I heard an internet rumor that
Yeah.
this was existing.
I want Code Veronica for the Sega Pico. And
yes, like that
I
level.
imagine this. Just go see if they have it.
Yeah.
I had a dream about it.
It's like, I want Halo on GameCube. Well, they can't. Well, my nephew says it's there. Well, tell your nephew to eat a dick. I don't know what you say.
my friend really wants the 2-player Bridge on the River Kwai game. And I'm not leaving here without it.
Yeah, you call my son a liar. So she asked for Dino Crisis 1, Dino Crisis 2, Dino Crisis 3, and then she named Dino Crisis 4 Final Crisis. Like, who made this shit up? Like, that's beyond just saying a number.
Seriously, and Square Enix should have sued.
Capcom.
I'm saying that sounds way too much like a Square Enix game.
Sounds like a DC,
Final Crisis.
a DC
Oh, it does.
Square crossover. Final Crisis.
Inevitable crisis on a lot of places. Oh, DC with your can we move on to 4?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Number 4.
Shadow of the Colossus, Colossus 7.
This is beautiful.
It is a really cool. I mean, I love.
Oh my god, and these are coming in HD. We discussed all
Yes.
that, right?
Shadow of the Colossus on PS3 is going to be amazing. My only problem with the original was that it was clearly pushing the PS2 to its absolute maximum.
It was kind of chuggy.
It was chuggy, but it was beautiful, and like to see that without those hindrances is gonna make a great game like even better. And this particular one, you're kind of like waiting around in water, and this is one of those games that really gets that sense of scale across. And one of the creepiest feelings you can ever have in your life is wading in water and feeling like there's something huge underneath you.
And you see it constantly.
And like you see it move by, and you're like, "Fuck that! That thing is too big."
Yeah, I had some trouble with that one at first. That's a really big fear for me. Is big things in water.
Oh, it's creepy.
So it's like, and then you find out it's practically harmless.
Yeah.
And like I was expecting it to try and eat me, and it just kind of swims past and ignores you. And the only thing is, you have to. The challenge is keeping a hold of it without drowning or being knocked off, and also avoiding the electrical spikes on its back.
But like that.
But it doesn't actually attack.
Yeah, like that's what I love about like as a water as a water level, is more like a water area on a map. But like you get that feeling of the pressure of that much water above you, because it grabs you and starts yanking you down below the surface. And I mean, you are not equipped at all to be underwater. You have no powers or.
Well, you grab it technically.
Yeah. I mean, you have no equipment and abilities to breathe under. Like, you're fucked when it starts taking you underwater. So all you can do is like try to pull yourself along it, and then it comes back up to the surface, and then you just run across quickly before it dives back under again. It really worked. It didn't compromise what was already cool about the game.
I can't wait to play this part when it comes out in HD.
It's going to be so good.
Oh man,
I forgot what we were on.
Number 3.
Didn't get a Santa Claus. Whatever.
Number 3.
That's appropriate.
It is. Dive.
Is there a lion under this water?
Oh God, the Finding Nemo ride at Disneyland used to be 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but they have that noise I forgot from old submarine movies, and which is the whistle.
Yeah,
the like captain noise?
Yeah.
It's bosun's whistle, I think.
What is it?
It's a bosun's
whistle.
Yeah.
What is it? What's happened here?
I think you need a wiki.
I think that's just what that tone is called.
All right.
Pulling that out of nowhere.
Look at that, man.
Because it was made by a whistle carried by the bosun.
That's why we pay him the big bucks.
What's a bosun?
A boatswain.
Oh, boatswain.
Jesus Christ.
Well, now I definitely know what that is.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not up on my nautical terms. I just know I think it's like below first mate or something like that.
Holy shit. I want to give you
the third in command. I have no idea.
I have to slow down. I need to give you. I'm
going
to mix two things.
Hold on.
You're going to like this. It was all of those. It was all of those.
Oh man.
It was all of those. Are we on number 3?
I have like 6 bosuns right now.
Number 3.
Mario's. Whoa, Jesus. Jolly Roger Bay, Super Mario 64.
I have to agree. I thought that was a pretty incredible water
I gotta
level.
say, like I thought it was at the time. I really liked diving underwater with Mario, and the music again made it a very
Dire Docks, everything about it. Isn't there like multiple versions of like the same jam?
The music actually responds to where you are in the level, so when you're running around one spot, it's this.
You're hearing it now.
But then when you swim across to a cave, it picks up a little drum backbeat a little bit, like. I don't know, like a reactive music like that was not a common thing, so it was really interesting to see.
It was one of those that I didn't hate. I think especially because in terms of a Mario level at the time, it wasn't as big as the other ones, but there was a lot more stuff to do and hidden. And the Koopa shell. Oh,
yeah, the Koopa shell. They'll let you just kind of swim, like blast around. And then David makes a good point. Like there was not many enemies, and there was a lot of stuff to do. Because, I mean, the way Mario 64 was, it was like they were not huge levels, but they were good-sized levels with like 8 things to find in them.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of things to investigate and do underwater. But none of them were like a huge pain in the ass, because also there were coins underwater.
Coins were
which
essential.
refilled your air. And so I mean, there was always, it didn't become a pain in the ass.
And it did have that gigantic moray eel that was kind of creepy.
Cool moray, bro.
Now, I would like to say this is one of multiple Mario games in the best water levels. Guess what game didn't make it? Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
the water Mario game.
Well, they took it a little too far.
They did,
I can't remember any level from Sunshine that I liked.
I remember one platforming just because I had a lot of difficulty with it. That's the only reason it stands out.
I liked the levels.
And I liked the Funhouse amusement park level.
The only distinct memory I have from that game is yanking the arms off the giant bloober.
Oh yeah.
Is it because this is really characteristically violent for Mario? He's actually maiming an enemy.
You want to make your species extinct. Try and reproduce.
Try and swim with no arms.
I make it impossible. I'm almost out of Mario accent.
I'm a cripple you for life.
There you go. Thank you,
Can't you
Mike.
just do an Italian?
Somebody help me.
Just do your Italian voice and your Mario.
Wait, no, I was trying to find my stupid...
Hey, it's me, Mario.
Hey, it's me, Mario. I'm out here tearing things off aquatic creatures. I don't even want sushi, but I like... Leave them alive. Watch them struggle. Look at this. Hey, come here, jellyfish. You got an eye? I'm going to poke you in it. Wait. Gotta see that blue whale? I need a bar of soap.
Christ.
Whoops-a-daisy.
God, what a game.
Let's go into number 2.
Oh, Clanker's Cavern, Banjo-Kazooie.
Better.
Really
Better.
cool. Really cool.
Better than Mario, and I'm so glad it got this placement. I don't have the banjo sound effect because this is where my computer broke. So Shane and I had practiced. There you go.
There.
Happy. Don't sue me, Rare.
Banjo.
I love you.
Well, now they'll owe you royalties for doing it in the first place.
Oh no.
So Clankers.
Clankers.
Whoa, hello headset. Clanker's Cavern kind of does the exact same thing as Dire Docks because Rare straight up ripped off Mario 64. But
Enhanced it. This was better.
yes, it did enhance it and made the graphics better, but it's a little devoid of a lot of imagination. But whatever, Banjo-Kazooie is a fine game.
I think it took, the design-wise, it took a lot of imagination. But in terms of this water level alone, what it had that no other game had.
A giant metal shark.
It did have a giant metal shark that you could go into you could enter multiple holes of.
Enter various parts of him. Super cool.
But what it did have is Kazooie's ability to give you a super water push.
Oh,
and the
right.
problem with all water levels is that you're basically doing like a pathetic version of a doggy paddle.
Yeah.
I'd say my worst experience is trying to collect clams in San Andreas. Like that. Like, just, it looks like the game is broken. Like, CJ is upside down at a 90-degree angle, spinning around something he can't possibly grab. But what Kazooie had one big
Push.
whoop,
Yeah.
and then you just aimed. So it was very easy to get through the water. It was it reminded me a lot of Pilot Wings. And that's what all water levels should be, except it's water has to slow you down, and Kazooie could help you.
Yeah. No, and I just love that the level really was just a fucking hole.
Yeah.
With a giant shark in it. And
Yeah.
it was just tubes leading around him.
Now, what do you say? Now you say, take it back. It was a creative level. There's a lot of shit going down.
No,
there.
I think this is a really cool level. And I mean, I like Banjo-Kazooie, but it was just like Rare. Well, we can do that too, right? Like,
well, it's that. I think it was that we can do that too, and then we can do it constantly.
Yeah.
And just reading about it, researching an article Charlie's writing, they made so many levels for Banjo-Kazooie and didn't finish them, and they all ended up in every other Rare game. And Tooie, and including Donkey Kong 64. Like, Donkey Kong 64 contains a shit ton of, like, generic
Donkey
Rare.
Kong 64 is Banjo-Kazooie. Like,
It is.
such a nonsense
But it has
game.
6 characters.
6 characters and bullshit to collect. And thanks, Rare. You
I'm
made the same
drinking
game 4 times.
I'm drinking too much. I can't eat. Can we move on to number 1 because it's really good?
Oh, sure.
Number 1.
Speaking of Donkey Kong, it's Donkey Kong Country. All of the water levels. Woo! Donkey Kong Country,
Fantastic
one
music.
especially. Some of the best music
Ever.
Thank you, David Wise.
I wish I knew what he looked like, or at least could speak to him, because I always feel like I talk about him like he's dead.
I know he has a picture in an interview with Overclocked Remix. And
We should talk to
he
him.
actually helped them for their Donkey Kong Country 2
Remember I
remix album, Serious Monkey Business.
Remember I said we should get David Wise to do a game music of the day.
I was going to actually
I want to know what inspired him.
I was going to actually look into that. As a matter of fact.
I bet let's try.
Although,
let's-
considering game music, I think he ended up inspiring more people than could have possibly inspired him because he was in it so early.
But even though, like what maybe does he like now?
Yeah, no,
And guess
for sure.
what? And then we turn it into a daily column, or we call it Word to the Wise.
Word to the wise guy.
Wise guy. Oh my god!
Wise not.
Any more?
No. You started it. Don't fucking...
Wiseacres. That was a
Oh,
little bit of a
more
combo
Rare
breaker.
jokes. Rare, everybody.
Oh,
So,
combo breaker.
but
Tyler was
Donkey Kong
way better at
Country
this.
already had, fun levels, run through, bounce around, cool levels, cool
this
bowling.
this in particular, like
Cool
in,
levels, bro.
in terms. Stop
but this
it,
kind
you
of
guys.
broke it up.
Ah,
Damn it! Oh fuck! There's audio for this. I wish I would have thought of it.
what?
Donkey Kong Country, before it came out, shipped with a VHS tape that was like Donkey Kong Country revealed,
Diddy,
exposed,
yeah.
Diddy, yeah.
Next week.
They actually talk about this level, and they're playing the music underneath, and they're like, "So yeah, we got this cool water level. It comes after a particularly challenging level, and this is just kind of a nice break, and it's a reward to the player." And that's how they treated the water level. It was it was still a break from regular gameplay, so you're swimming through a 3D environment in water.
And it was,
But it was never difficult. It looked amazing, and this beautiful music, aquatic ambiance, which is one of the best game musics ever made.
in the podcast where we say goodbye to Shane,
Yes.
his roast, he chooses that's like one of his favorite songs. And
Yeah.
we go out on the roast on it. Like I think when all of us are in tears, I've had to listen to that since then, and it really
Gets you?
with that. I don't know. There's some forlorn thing in the
Yeah.
aquatic ambience. There's a void.
There's a melancholy
somewhere.
to it. What I also love is there's an 8-bit version that was in Donkey Kong Land, and used again in Donkey Kong Country for Game Boy Color. It
my-
used the same 8-bit version. So there's an 8-bit aquatic ambience, which I think is not as good, obviously, but it retains that same feeling. Only imagine if it was coming out of an NES. So it's very chiptunesy, but it's legitimate from Rare. From
I have to open with that if I can find the Donkey Kong link. The next segment.
I have it. I can link you to
I
it.
want to hear the 8-bit version.
Fucking so good. It's just as good, but not as good, if that makes any sense.
No, I've just never heard it, and I've heard the other one a billion times.
I love it.
What's up, Michael?
Same music, less fidelity.
Yes, half the fidelity.
But not like.
It's very NES chiptunesy, but like it
Ooh.
maintains that same
Ooh.
like creepiness to it. I love this.
My brain just said.
Speaking of which, I did play the new Donkey Kong Country Returns this week,
Oh,
and the preview went up now. I can either talk about it now or wait till later.
let's talk about it in the next segment.
Okay.
I didn't have time to prepare a lot.
I was gonna say,
Go for it, Mickle.
Talking about this segment reminded me of Demon's Crest, which I remembered having a really cool water level. And I'm looking at it right now, and realizing it's like, oh no, wait, no, it pulls that same bullshit that every water level seems to think it has to pull, where it's like, you can swim, so let's force you to swim through narrow cavities filled with spikes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Was that the game with the blue demon?
The red demon.
The red demon?
And he could change into different kinds of demons. So
One of which was
blue,
blue
at one
with
point.
wings. I think.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the cover of the box.
It was red on the bottom.
It was red on the
Yeah,
box?
yeah.
All right, can I
Firebrand.
give myself a Michael Rapar's current affairs? You know, these sound effects. Love how diplomatic he was about that. Sure, I guess I've earned it.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
it's all me.
Why not?
Yeah, when we get back, we do have a lot of game deals. Michael, you will think what's happening in this next game deals thing
Okay.
will blow your mind.
Will it?
Yes,
I doubt
I swear to Christ, it will.
Oh, man.
I swear.
I look
What's
forward to
coming
this.
up? What we're going to announce? Where we are right now? I hope that'll blow your mind. I
Oh,
might
yes.
talk about Disney. I'd wanted to play a
yes.
stupid Disney song, but fucking, I want to close with aquatic ambience, then go in to aquatic ambience, and in between, I want to play the song.
I know there's a Sticker Brush Symphony Donkey Kong Country 2
it is
hip-hop
Sticker
song.
Brush. Yeah. What? You remember who does that?
I know which
Not a
one you're
fan,
talking
no.
about, but
Can you?
I have no idea who it was that did it.
Rapping about Donkey Kong, Pac-Man,
The Dinky Kings.
Dig Dugs. Spelled D-O-U-G.
I don't know. I don't even know who to attribute this to. I think it's Team. They're called Team Genius, and it's this beautiful. We played it in like one of the first, like in the teens of the podcast in a break, but I love it
yeah.
so much. It is Sticker Brush Symphony,
From DKC 2.
and but it's
Probably the best song from that game.
that was a hard ass game. I didn't beat it. I'd never been the same.
It's a tough one.
Yes, let's hit a motherfucking bumblebee over the head. Let's get out of here. When we get back, we will talk about some new releases. Maybe talk about an upcoming feature. We have I have winners for Halo Reach to announce.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and I don't know. It'll all be. Jesus fucking Christ.
This is Kevin Murphy from Riftrex, and you're listening to TalkRadar.
Welcome to Hollow Wish and home of the Blade Kitten. It's here Kit Ballard works as one of the best bounty hunters in the business. Don't let her pink hair fool you. Kit is part cat, part girl, and wholly lethal. With her unique dark blade hovering at her side, Kit has made a name for herself, rounding up some of the most deadly scum in the galaxy. Also along for the ride is Skiffy, Kit's laid-back little sidekick who, when needed, serves as her protector. Join Kit, Skiffy, and the Dark Blade in the all-new action-adventure game, Blade Kitten. Blade Kitten is available on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade. For more information, go to www.bladekitten.com. Rated T for Teen.
Yo, the more I grow up and get my life on track, the more I feel myself getting pulled back. The unbeatable odds that I'm facing got me thinking it's a game that I can't win. Like back when I was in school and they released Donkey Kong Country 2. That was a hard-ass game. I never beat it, and I ain't been the same. So when the stress starts pulling me under, I start feeling like I'm back in the jungle, trying to stack bananas like building blocks. Might go ape shit on a million crocs. Grab that barrel and put him to bed. Hit a motherfucking bumblebee over the head. Bad guys stay on cadence like a drum line. I guess life gets that way sometimes.
Sometimes life is impossible, like that one level with the thorns and shit. When reptile pirates get the upper hand, I can't understand why'd you make this level so hard. I got a whole bunch of bananas, but I ain't trying nothing. This level so hard. I got a whole bunch of bananas, but I ain't trying nothing for this. I got a whole bunch of bananas, but I ain't trying nothing for this. I got a whole bunch of bananas, but I ain't got nothing for answers. I got a whole bunch of bananas.
TalkRadar, bitches.
All of a sudden, I could feel 100% evil come over me.
Whoopee! I'm going to GamesRadar.com, the official website of the internet.
Can you dig it?
This is the second segment of TalkRadar. Segment 2. Segment 2 is still brought to you by what, Elston?
Blade Kitten.
Blade Kitten. It's available on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade. For more information, go to bladekitten.com. Blade Kitten is rated T for Teen.
Blade Kitten. So we're coming in with 8-bit aquatic ambience?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I hope you're all enjoying it as much as I do.
Oh, yeah.
That's a thing, though. If you like Donkey Kong Country music, and most of us do, Donkey Kong Land and Donkey Kong Country for Game Boy Color have the same soundtrack. It's just 8-bit version of the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack. Donkey Kong Land came out the same day, 1994.
I can't believe I missed this point.
Okay, it may not be the same day, but it's the same year. It was 1994.
No, but either way, like usually people have to... I'm just finding YouTube remixes with 30 views of songs like this.
But yeah, this is like everything from almost... I don't think it's a complete soundtrack. Plus, Donkey Kong Land has different areas and levels that weren't in Donkey Kong Country. So there's actually two new songs. One in the clouds and one is like in a temple. And they're new songs done in the same Donkey Kong Country style. There's just no 16-bit equivalent. I could go on and on.
I would love you to go on and on.
Won't.
I don't have a lot prepared,
but
sweetie.
I won't.
So you're not going to go on about Donkey Kong Country?
The new one I can. I got it.
I guess we could do new releases. I'm getting a little bit drinkle. I haven't eaten today because, When do we get into this? What are we doing with Charlie Barrett?
Oh, by the time you hear this,
we gotta be quiet. He's still in the office working.
Oh my God.
To go on a trip to LA with his girlfriend.
He thinks he has,
or so he thinks.
He thinks Friday he has to go with his girlfriend to
hang out with her parents.
Hang out with her parents.
His fiance.
He's fucking miserable about it.
In
I know
LA.
he is.
He is not happy. He thinks his weekend is shot, and he's like, "We've got a wedding to plan. This is irresponsible. We should have done this any other week, but the weekend before the wedding." Like he's really not happy.
He has no idea how irresponsible.
I only know this through.
Oh, we only know this through Charlie's fiance.
Yeah, we only know it through her, and like, he hasn't said a word about it.
Who she called Groomzilla on Twitter, which cracked my girlfriend and I up.
And he's not let any of this on to anyone in the office, so I know he's like internally stewing.
Yeah,
about it, but I hear it through her. But,
he's in the office. It's what is it? It's 8:30, and he's scanning images for who the fuck knows.
Yeah.
Charlie does. He's the feature planner, but
he's also an insane workaholic, even by my standards.
Yeah.
So, but Friday morning, by the time you hear this, we will have surprised Charlie. What I'm going to do is around 10:30, I'm going to email Michael, Chris, Tyler Wilde, and Charlie, and say, "Oh, we need to have a really quick meeting about future planning for October. This will only take 10 minutes, I promise." Mm-hmm. We're going to walk into a meeting room. He's probably going to be really irritated because it's Friday morning and he thinks, I've got to fucking get on a plane in a few hours. Can you hurry the fuck up? And then I'm just going to have the itinerary to our hotel to Luxor, print it out. I'm just going to be like, oh, here's the sheet you need to look at. And then just let him look at it and notice the dates. And I'm going to wait and watch we can all just wait and watch his face.
We should film him.
We have the HD flip cam. We could. And just watch and wait until and watch the realization come over his face and be like, what? And be like, we gotta go now! And then blast out the door in a cab to the airport, to Vegas, and then we're going to Vegas for like 2 nights. And basically try to get him so hammered. That
Charlie hammered is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing.
It's seen so rarely.
Seen so rarely, and he'll have no reason to hold back.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that because he doesn't embarrass himself. He just gets he gets more outraged at things than you articulately outraged than you've ever heard him be on the podcast.
He speaks so fast, it's almost like the Micro Machines guy.
Yeah, it's so fantastic.
I can hear all of it, and the rage is just unfettered. It's really, really something. So by the time you hear this, we'll probably be in an airplane or maybe even landing in Vegas with
So follow us on Twitter. I am C Antista.
I am just Michael Raparez, one word.
And I am
Michael Raparez.
Yes, Brelston. I believe most of you already know.
Yeah.
But,
see, that's one of the I'll tell this anecdote later about my name.
Tell it now.
There's no better time.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Nobody in this fucking country can remember how to spell or pronounce my name for more than 5 seconds. Get Reparez, Ripodes. Yeah, I've heard every permutation.
Dr. Ray Parez.
Everybody always wants to spell it EZ rather than AZ. Mm-hmm. But went to Spain with my dad a couple years ago, and we check into this hotel, and they ask the name, and he says Raparaz, and they're like, "Oh, spelled like it sounds?" I'm like, yeah.
And he just got it?
Yeah, he just got it.
Well, it's a Spanish name, is it not?
It is. It's Spanish Basque. But it's just kind of funny that, like, my whole life nobody's been able to comprehend this name. And it's rare even in Spain. Right. But he just says Rapara. And it's like, oh, spelled like it sounds. Okay, sure.
When you
R-E-P-A-R-A-Z.
When you got married, we had a couple of events, and let's be honest, I decided to hit on your sister. And I developed a minor crush on Mike Raparez's sister, and then I said, I pronounced it correctly, and boom, her face changed. How did you know how to say my name? And I'm like, yes. She doesn't know that I've been CMSing his name for 8 years, for like a year and a half. That I've seen it so often, like it's really not a talent. But yeah, she was so shocked that I got your name right in any
I
way.
spent some time in Spain.
It was almost
she
like
also never forgave me because I drunkenly told you that she thought you were charming, and she thought she thought you avoided her after that.
Dude, we could have been related.
That's true.
Damn it!
What?
I could have
You
married
missed,
Michael's
you missed a
sister.
golden opportunity.
Oh,
We could have been brother-in-laws
Yeah.
instead of lovers, like on YouTube. Jesus.
There's a YouTube of that now.
can you have incest
You haven't
with-
seen the YouTube?
No.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
it's vile.
Do I want to?
It's who
Is
did
it
the
just our,
YouTube?
more of our faces pasted over gay
No, it's choreographed. Fuck, I forget who did it. I'm so sorry.
It's your audio that when you guys read the
Right,
script.
right.
The
we
erotic fan
should have
fiction.
known we were asking for trouble.
I
with
said
that.
it in the podcast.
But if it's
you're
still,
asking for
if
it,
it's still on YouTube, the closing shot is a muscular man sitting with his legs spread on his knees around another man's neck with his cock all the way in somebody's throat.
Right.
Like
I've seen that image.
That's part of the YouTube video, and it's our faces, and somebody got I guess a picture of me with my mouth open, and YouTube hasn't taken it down because the cock is totally obscured by my throat. Yours, by the way, and your chiseled abs, both of our chiseled abs,
so close to real life.
we look phenomenal.
That's a positive.
I know exactly. I'm like,
That's
man,
the plus side of that.
Is that what I look like? Hairless and chiseled and
Man, like if I hit a gym like
and using a flesh snorkel
5 times a week and had a job in gay porn.
It is. Oh, fuck, what am I? I'm a little drunk.
So new releases.
I'm a little drunk.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk a little about my girlfriend. So she just surprised me, sort of, with a trip to Disneyland. I knew it was coming. I didn't know how severe it was. But then I was on vacation. I came in just one day to do the podcast, and then to play Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit for PTOM, which is like the greatest thing ever. Everything I've said about it, forget it. It's fucking awesome. Do a write-up later. I went and did all that dental work, and was really fucked up last week on painkillers and anti-anxiety pills because I can't be operated on like a normal human being. Now my teeth hurt and I can't eat. Like
Well,
all I've done
amount
is
of surgery will mess your mouth up for a while.
I've never had a cavity before either, so I keep thinking I thought there was popcorn kernels in my teeth, and I realized I was trying to floss one of my fillings out for a minute, and so everything
That's like
hurts.
nightmare fuel.
I haven't eaten anything in forever, and anything that's not soup, and. Yeah, I apologize in advance. This is the most the Stella Artois is the most nourishment I've had in days.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But I've been running around Disneyland, and I had some energy drinks, and that's like my new fixation.
Surely your vegan chili would come through, right?
I hope so. You know what? The downfall of my vegan chili? People have been asking for the recipe.
It's good chili.
The garbanzo beans. Too big, too hard to chew. They hurt. Everything else. The pinto, the kidneys. The black beans, they would have been fine.
Right. Could probably boil them separately for a little bit longer.
I made it before this happened.
Welcome to Chili Radar.
Chili Radar.
Well, we discuss all the latest vegan chili recipes.
Welcome to Chili Radar. I just wanted to say one thing about Disneyland.
Go for
because it is magical, and I want to play the stupid World of Color theme song because there's a fantastic show at Disney's California Adventure called World of Color that's going to make the Bellagio look like shit, like that water show.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Always said to my heart will go on.
It's called World of Color. I didn't think they'd acknowledge it, but that's what the wonderful World of Disney TV show back in the 60s when it switched to NBC. When they switched to color, they had this 2-minute intro. Wonderful World of. It's the cheesiest thing you've ever heard set to imagery. Like, you ever seen the first the Lumiere brothers films? Here's a train pulling into the station. Here's a toucan. That's what. There's 2 minutes of this, and all they're doing is singing about color because no one had ever seen it, and they used it. They used it in the show. But that park was the best because they're not dry. They serve alcohol.
Oh, nice.
And please, if you look at my Facebook, I've posted plenty of images. I Twittered this phrase, but I think it bears repeating. If you go to Disneyland as an adult, you are your own supervision.
Right.
The caveat to that's not even a caveat.
Unless you smoke.
Is that, oh my God.
In which case someone will come along and supervise the hell out of you and tell you to go to the designated smoking area, even though the entire park is fucking open air.
My girlfriend got sick on a couple of rides and had to sit on the bench alone for a couple minutes. And I went on one ride with a 5-minute line. 3 people came up to her in the park. Is everything going all right?
Oh my god.
Is everything okay? No, they were like, I got to know the people at, because there's all the good, like a lot of the good rides were closed at California Adventure. I got to know the staff.
Wow.
And so I knew them by name. And hey, what's up, Anthony? And but the best part about it is part of that means they don't tell you not to do stuff. Ever. So I go to like these Huck Finn's Island and Brother Bear's play place and just climbing on the rafters, hanging upside down like a monkey, and all they do is come out, sir, there's plenty of places to play down here. They never ask you not to. They never ask you to get down. They never threaten anything. And like fucking, there's a High School Musical, like it rolls out from behind a stage, and the California Adventureland isn't dry. And I had a couple beers, so I had decided for my girlfriend and I's benefit to bomb the High School Musical live show. And so I pulled down my pants a little bit and did a dance with Dumbo. And it's like my ass is facing all these teenagers who are flipping the fuck out over this High School Musical 3. Like, is that the good one? I don't know.
That's the most recent one.
And finally, like, 2 people come up to me. Are you having a problem seeing the show? like, no, my ass is faced towards the show and all of your audience. Of course I'm not. They never once asked, like,
wow.
And it makes you feel, it made me feel guilty. It made me feel guilty. I said the Muppet ride wasn't open, and I'm like, are you motherfuckers closing down the Muppet ride? No, sir. Like, I don't. And she looked confused. Like, you own the Muppets now, right? I needed clarification.
Right.
And I'm yelling at this poor girl standing in front of this empty fucking room. And then all of a sudden, 2 people come out. Sir, he already knew my problem. Like, I don't know where the cameras and the microphones are. It's
everywhere.
Yeah, he's like, sir, we assure you it's opening up. And I twittered, I went on that Roger Rabbit ride, and I'm convinced he's underutilized. If you go to Toontown, it's like all Roger Rabbit music and paraphernalia, yet who the fuck knows who Roger Rabbit is?
Right.
And I went on the ride one day. I'm like, I'm glad I got to see that. It's a little lame. It's a little lame. I got to see it. I'm glad I got to see that because I know they're going to close it down soon. I went back 2 days later, and it's shuttered with a fence around it.
Which thing? The Roger Rabbit?
The Roger Rabbit ride.
What?
And I twittered, oh my god. Like I almost fell to my knees. Did I go on the Roger Rabbit ride the day before it closed forever? And I twittered that. Moments later, the official Disneyland Twitter,
this is just creepy,
had found me and like, it's closed for refurbishment. It will be open on December 16th. Thank you for your enthusiasm or something like that. Fucking crazy, dude. Disneyland was nuts.
Do you know if they still do the thing like between Halloween and Christmas where they transform the Haunted Mansion into Nightmare Before Christmas?
Fucking terrible.
Is it?
I'm already not a Nightmare Before Christmas fan. Oh. I'm meaning to watch. I know you are. I'm meaning to watch it again on Blu-ray.
I love it.
I didn't like Danny Elfman's songs, but then like I listened to like this hour-long interview where Danny Elfman explained the origins, like and played like the Cole Porter inspirations. I'm like, oh well, this is like a guy who studied a lot and was going for something that I didn't understand. I get that. But I thought it bored the fuck out of me.
Man, what a movie.
But either way, Disneyland for me is all about robots,
right,
forced perspective, and holograms.
Yes.
So what they did to the Haunted Mansion ride is they sort of changed it. Everything has changed. There's snow on everything. And all those, what do they say, like 999,000 ghosts, all of them are removed to see like 20 times. And Jack, and with Christmas music and wobbly, like Disney doesn't have wobbly shit.
Right.
Wobbly fucking members of Nightmare Before Christmas. And then like the one scene I think we all remember if we've been on the Haunted Mansion ride, you go to the ballroom and there's a bunch of people dancing.
Right.
And it's literally like, wow, that looks crazy. They set up a Christmas tree with a bunch of presents and just like projected it over it. So I know they're ghosts, but it looks like they're inside the Christmas tree and ruins the illusion. And I was, my girlfriend had never seen it before, and I'm like, I'm really sorry you had to see that. Like this ride is very well done and very entertaining.
Yeah. I hear the Euro Disney one is even better. That it's actually structured in such a way that it tells a coherent story, that like from beginning to end.
Oh, so, does it really?
Yeah, it's something about like this wedding and they're cursed or something like that by the fortune teller and the crystal ball who has designs on the groom or something like that. And
it did strike me because I complain about it a lot, like, oh, the Disney shit is being edited and changed and blah blah blah. The Tiki Room, all a bunch of racist Spanish-speaking fucking parrots, beautiful. The Jungle Cruise, like a bunch of bone-nosed Africans dancing around. All of that, none of that has changed. It's still insensitive and gorgeous.
And did you ever get like the Jungle Cruise people who are like so sick of it that they just make up their own script?
I didn't know that until at the end. She was so fucking... Here we go. And like, oh, hippo. And like just sort of like wave the gun like in a bad movie, like she was shooing a fly away, bang bang. And then I look at the boat behind us, and people are applauding. And in our boat, like, get it? Oh well, not everything works. All right, next elephant.
I loved the last time I was on that. I got this guy who was like, he gets to the point where like the rhino is like treed a bunch of guys, and,
a bunch
like,
of rockets.
Oh, look at that! That's not something you see every day, right? Huh?
Rhinos.
Am I right?
And then like he had it also timed perfectly. Like there's this point where like the natives like pop up, and then they just stay there for a while, and he's like, "Oh guys, no, you don't want us. You want the next cruise." And they just like, he had it timed perfectly to the point where they like turn 45 degrees and then go back down.
Charlie Bear said it to me that park. It's just, I thought he was so fucking lame when he said it. Like, Disney World's cool, but Disneyland it's magical. And by magical,
it has a certain character.
The way they economize space, like you're in a very small space, but you feel like you're in a 12. Should we stop talking about this? New releases?
No, I'm having fun.
I had a fucking blast there, and I went. I guess what is it? It was September on a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Everything was a 5-minute line. I'm used to Orlando with 2 hours standing in the sweltering heat.
Yep.
And I instead I wrote Pinocchio, and there's no one here. I'll write it again, and again, and
Fall
again.
is definitely the time to go to Disneyland.
Splash Mountain did it 3 times.
Wow,
3 times.
Yeah, my only exposure to Disney parks was Disney World. I went there a few times as a kid, but I didn't like it then because as a youngster, I didn't like roller coasters. I almost didn't like anything.
Me neither.
As far as like, I remember, oh god,
my mom.
The first time I saw a bouncy castle, I remember them opening the portal, and to where what I swear was like the event horizon of a black hole. Like I just seeing walls and floors like shaking and kids tumbling over. I was like, it's like reality is breaking down inside. Don't put me in this room. I don't know what's going on. And then they like I remember screaming until they took me out, and then And then my mom telling me I will never bring you to another theme park, and she never did.
I
didn't ride a roller coaster till I was 17.
I asked my parents why they didn't do it. They said just because it sucks for a parent.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
But Disneyland wasn't like that, and I realized I was scared off of roller coasters until I was 13 years old. Like I went to the fair with my friends, and like, oh, you guys go do that shit. I'm gonna go run around.
I'm gonna go kiss some girls or whatever.
Yeah. No, I was like, I'm gonna go. You guys go enjoy the rainbow. I'm gonna go do the bumper cars and like, no, dude, get on the Tomahawk. And I hope people know what that is for touring fair.
Right.
But it cured me of everything, and I realized what made me afraid originally. My fuck-ass mother tricked me into going on Space Mountain. And Space Mountain, ironically, is like it's not ironically, fortuitously, like was the first ride I took my girlfriend on, and instantly got sick. And what was a magical event, she paid for everything, got in a fight. You paid for this whole fucking thing to not ride on anything because you feel sick. I feel. What do you want me to say? I feel sick. Suck it up. Suck it up. You paid the price. You're gonna make me ride. Yeah, look, dude. This argument happened in front of people, like several times in a very magical place. Wow. Enough to where like people, like eventually we started to notice people standing around us. I told her I wouldn't talk about this. Fuck. New releases.
I can't believe none of the people who were so attentive before didn't like swoop down. Are you having okay? Lovers quarrel?
Lovers quarrel. Here, how about a Sunday?
Dude, that will fix any problem.
I've been tricked into going on Splash Mountain twice. I hated it both times.
Why?
Second time I had a fucking anxiety attack because I'm just worried about the big drop at the end.
Oh, it's my favorite right there. Just because it contains the most robots and a couple of thrills.
I know, but it's like I was so just psyched out about it that it's like I can't appreciate any of this. I thought I could, but I really can't. And I'm having a panic attack, and it's really embarrassing. And oh fuck, there's the thing, and now we're just sitting there for a minute at the precipice and just kind of waiting for the inevitable to happen, and it does, and I completely freak out, and I'm just a mess.
Oh my god, tell me you guys bought the picture. The picture at the,
The
end.
picture was just me, like with
lot.
every muscle in my body clenched at the same time.
Just like I want to see a 7-year-old Michael Raparez with veins coming out of his neck and a full beard.
This was in 2003.
Oh, my bad. It's my favorite ride in the park, and I'm not a huge fan of Song of the South, but it is odd to me that every kid in the... I even asked, like... God, I'm such a fucking creep. Kids crying on Bug's Life. You afraid of Bug's Life? Whip out my iPhone. I have Bug's Life on my iPhone. Here's who's going to be here. Cool. I'm this creepy old nerd.
Yeah.
And like... Do you let your kid watch Pinocchio? Because that shit's scary as fuck, and so was this ride. But Splash Mountain, I'm like... Do you know who Brer Rabbit is? And no, nobody does.
Well, why would you?
Well, it's the best and biggest and most elaborate ride in the park.
Well, yeah, they know the ride.
And like, there's a song, and everybody go to the laughing place, and like that's why he goes to the Briar Patch. Like, it makes total sense. It's a very thematically, it's a beautifully done ride. It's fantastic. Everything since then has not had a theme with a Disney character. It's been like Space Mountain or something unrelated, Thunder Mountain. Like the Toy Story Mania ride are great, but they're different. But I went out and I'm like, yeah, dude, I want some Brer Rabbit stuff because the cartoon, everybody knows Zippity Doo-Dah.
Right.
The fucking movie's not out. Disney ignores that the movies exist, and people have started ripping characters off the wall. I go to the store. It's called the Briar Patch and has Brer Rabbit on it, and I'm like, where the fuck is all the Brer Rabbit merchandise? and I go up and it's like a skinny woman in a plaid skirt and a blonde ponytail. I'm like, do you guys carry any Brer Rabbit merchandise? And like in slow motion, turns around. It was like the Godzilla noise playing backwards. It was like a 90-year-old woman with the most makeup I've ever seen. No, and it's a shame, isn't it?
Jason,
they want to forget. They want to forget about Brer Rabbit. Like, oh my god, shit! New releases.
It reminds me. If you find it, never mind.
Did you follow my tweet stream in Disneyland, people?
Yes,
I
did.
If you did,
I was going to say that
we're going to do that.
A rather amusing roller coaster picture from 2000 going to Six Flags, where like there's just too much shit happening in one picture. It's like me and 3 of my friends. It's like there's a lot of levels going on in one picture, and none of it was intentional. It's just like how did this happen? And
I kept twittering it, and God, iPhones have ruined part of that. Well, terrible
tweeted
part
at you,
of
like replying, like, don't forget to enjoy the things you're doing.
You were very right about that, and I did stop after you said that.
Instead of twit picking it up, because I don't remember. Well, ironically, I don't remember where I was, but I went somewhere and I was like, "This is cool. Here's the thing, that thing," and then I got home and I was like, not only do I not remember it clearly, the only pictures I have are shitty twit pics of everything.
The stuff you said when you said that, like all the stuff I was doing that, like very. Like right after I did it. After that, I just like took pictures, and when I sat down, I twittered a couple things. I went back and did the stuff because you were right. I wasn't paying attention. I was actually not toot my own horn, but I'm just trying to entertain people on Twitter.
Right.
And so I went back and did that myself. It was the picture. Charlie Barrett is taking a picture of us.
A picture. He has no idea
what's
going to happen.
No idea.
Wait. I want to.
Oh, look at him so smug. He has no clue.
I want to have him take another one. Take another one, Charlie.
Go ahead.
Point at his head and say, "Charlie, I want you to remember when you took this picture because I want to bring this up later." He has no idea.
Not at all.
Okay.
I can't wait to put
can
this
hear
on the page.
something because when you said no, come back here, in your quiet voice, he did.
Oh shit.
No, I was because I was motioning.
Oh, okay, sweet. But and I think it was Asher. Like there's that thing where you go on the ride and they take a picture of you in like 8x10 glossy,
right?
$45. Like fuck you. And but now they show them on a display screen when you get to the ride and like I have an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
and I just kept taking those and twittering them. And the pictures of my poor girlfriend Heidi are the most unflattering images of her like legitimately screaming and crying because she's never done stuff like this before. But I was laughing so hard twittering these images of her, I didn't notice there's this fat lady doing a perfectly like symmetrical, almost looks like a YouTube, like a meme in and of itself. And Asher made a video where it's just the picture of me and then it zooms in on this fat lady in the background and zooms out and everybody's the fat lady. I wasn't aware of that meme.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to thank everybody. Maybe we'll put that on the TalkRadar 120 page. I don't know.
We should.
I don't know.
Interesting. Also, that means it's 100 podcasts ago. TalkRadar 20, one of the frequently cited as one of the better ones.
Wow.
Was that the poopy one?
Poopy one's 21. We told the poop story.
Those were good times.
Yeah.
When we somehow managed to keep shit under an hour, and now I've talked for 30 minutes about Disneyland on a hardcore video game. Gaming with balls, am I right, people? Gaming with balls.
Fuck, shit.
Yeah, there
Cox.
you go.
Well, I mean, it's the first time you went, so whatever.
I know, it was a big deal. It was a big deal for me, and I like a lot of people who sort of placated me. I'm like, well, good for you, Chris. On Twitter, you did it, Elston. It was nice. New releases this week. Did Sonic Adventure come to PSN? I don't know. Not really care.
Came to Xbox a couple weeks
because
ago.
it could have been backwards compatible anyway. I don't know.
What I love the most about Sonic Adventure is when it came out for Dreamcast, it averaged 8s and 9s.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came out for GameCube, it averaged 5s and 6s.
Yep.
And then the last time I looked at the reviews for the Xbox Live Arcade version, it's averaging 3s and 4s.
Whoa, really?
Because what I told you fuckers all along, that game is that game is not any good. It was
Which one, Sonic?
Sonic Adventure. I've never liked it, even when it came out. Like, I understand it was, at the time, graphics showcase, but I was like, this game isn't fun. Like, it looks cool now, but even, like, in 99, I was thinking, 5 years from now, we're going to think this looks like shit, controls like shit, and it's not going to be a worthwhile successor to the games that made Sonic famous. That's exactly what happened.
When you say that, I sort of remember knocking over, like, patio furniture as Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yes, I never got it.
Tails is it by the pool area? Like,
why is there a pool area?
I have to go through a small...
Meanwhile,
Elson, make a definitive Sonic Adventure statement.
Sonic Adventure is extremely overrated.
The more you know.
And was broken from the beginning.
The more you know.
It did have a really, really cool intro, though.
It had a cool intro. And I will acknowledge, some people who grew up with it, you have different attachment to it. So there's going to be, a nostalgia factor that I don't share.
Well, Michael and I have
that.
it, too. Don't we? I mean, like, as our first Dreamcast game.
That was my first Dreamcast game, and I
know.
fucking hated it.
It may all be the intro and the whale chase.
Because I loved Sonic. Like, I was a huge Sonic fan. I was a big Sega fan. I loved Soul Calibur. What the fuck else? Hydro Thunder, Marvel vs. Capcom. Dreamcast had a great first couple of months, but Sonic Adventure was the one game that I was like.
That reminds me. Have you seen? I may play it in the break, but I just don't know who to attribute it to. So don't come after me, 4chan. But it's all of 4chan singing a Sonic song together in unison.
Oh wow!
It's amazing. I think separately, just everybody combined it together, and just to show you how deep a connection people have with the Sonics that we don't like to acknowledge as part of Sonic's history.
No, I love the mere fact that everyone can do that. Like, I love anything that shows like, no, this is a worthwhile culture. Gaming is a worthwhile endeavor. It's not some fucking hobby. It's a deeper thing. Here's
a game I actually turned down coverage of because F1 2010.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody who likes that game, but like I said, I like racing. I don't like cars, and you have to like cars to care about F1.
Yeah. Well,
you have to care about tech.
This is from Codemasters, who's been on a bit of a roll.
Well, with racing games, fuck yeah, Codemasters.
It's averaging an 85, and I know we have a review up, and it was favorably scored as well. But I mean, it's what Grid and Dirt were both Codemasters,
and
I mean, this is like kind of continuing. We gave it a 9.
It's just it can't be anything but a sim in those games. Like, it's like it's like you put an outboard motor on a paper airplane. Like, it's such a weird car, and all you should do is drive straight.
Right.
And if you do something different in a game, well, then I could be doing that in a blimp or a hovercraft, and I don't need an F1. Like, I don't care about F1 racing.
What is my blimp racing game?
Did I say Death? Well,
Death Space Thongs of Virtue.
Death Space.
Death Spank.
Well, can I let me pronounce it like I spelled it.
Okay.
Death Speak. Thongs of Virtue. When there's puns in the title, it gets difficult.
It's only got a couple of reviews. IGN is an 8.5.
But guess what?
What?
It'd be free. It should go in the game deal segment.
Special money for a rainy.
Is that an expansion or a sequel?
It's DLC.
Oh.
It's DLC expansion. I don't know. It may just be like another small episode, but I heard it's free this week. It doesn't hurt to check, does it?
Yes.
And here's what I feel worse about. The biggest release of the week is amazing. Huge news. Civ 5.
Yeah.
None of us know it.
No.
If you go back and look at... Due to poor planning, I had my first interview at E3, without my knowledge, was Civ 5, having never seen a single screenshot or the game in motion.
Wow.
And what's the best thing about Civ 5? And then... well, we got a new hex grid, and you could just sort of see like my eyes turn white, my mouth slowly like, oh no, I have nothing to ask. What civilization are we tackling this time? But if you,
all of them, buddy.
And this is I love that I can recommend this. PC Gamer has a giant expose review on it, and the cover of the magazine is like a fucking army general knocking George Washington's wooden teeth out.
Yes,
fantastic cover. Can't ask for anything better than that. Is that all for new releases? I believe it is.
Serious Sam HD 2.
Oh, dude, I love me some Serious Sam. Serious Sam for me was like the first we understand what you actually want to do in a game, and we don't have to dress it up in a theme or a plot. Let's just do something. Let's just do something balls out and stupid.
Well, it's kind of like Duke Nukem stripped down even further.
Yeah. I can't get enough Serious Sam. All it is like the same enemies coming at you over and over again, and the fucking headless guys, kamikaze guys with the bombs. I gotta get that sound effect. It never was unfunny.
Yeah, I remember
you
laughing
see,
a lot
like
at that.
90 of them coming over the horizon, like especially when there's one coming at you from like 3/4 of a mile away, and you can wait a minute and a half to shoot him. It's like that scene in Austin Powers with the steamroller. No.
That and Painkiller, I thought had
Painkiller
similarities. Yeah.
Well, I realized this thinking of Serious Sam, which reminds me of Duke Nukem, which reminds me of Mad Hazard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at my games, and I was like, wow, when I arrange my games alphabetically, Duke Nukem Forever will be followed by Eat Lead. And it's just amusing that Duke Nukem negates the need for Mad Hazard to exist. Really.
I promise. Here's what I promise. Square Enix will invent a game that starts with DY. I promise you. They will invent a word. They've done it before. They're all about the D word. Did you see the trailer for the new Dissidia game, which is called...
Oh, it's called Final Fantasy... No, it's called Dissidia 012 Duodecim, inside brackets, Final Fantasy. The most bullshit...
You just told the story of parents coming to Toys R Us.
Yeah.
I know, like, my parents being frustrated would be like, fuck it, Mario. Mario.
Right.
This is just Mario.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, would it kill him? Dissidia 2.
Dissidia 2.
Why is there a goddamn 12 in it? I don't understand. It's 012 brackets duodecim Final Fantasy.
I don't know.
Even the brand Final Fantasy is the last part of this bullshit sentence.
I think with the Kingdom Hearts spin-offs and sequels have been so successful, they're just like, well, the more confusing we make the title, the better it'll sell to Japanese 14-year-olds.
That might be true, because they don't realize what it actually is, just that it's part of an established brand.
It just looks really impressive.
It looks really impressive.
If you don't speak English.
Well, it's 358 divided by 2 days.
What do you think when you think Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep? You don't think prequel that explains nothing about what you care about and contains nobody you wanted to see. But no, it doesn't contain Sora and Mickey. I don't need to do it. Moving on.
We didn't talk about 2 Ubisoft games that came out.
Which ones?
There was Ruse and Hawks 2.
Ruse and Hawks 2.
Yeah, I beat Hawks 2 yesterday, and I kind of hate it.
What was it about that you hated? I thought you liked the first one.
I thought Hawks 1 was all right. I thought it was perfectly okay. Kind of, I don't have an Ace Combat.
I'm just about to unwrap it.
I don't have an Ace Combat to play, so I'll play Hawks 2. But Hawks 2 is like, the planes all felt really twitchy.
Mm-hmm.
The story is fucking terrible. Like, I barely care about a plane game story in the first place. I'm here to, fly jets, do cool missions, like thread a needle with my jet through a fucking canyon hole. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, these elaborate, cool things. And the game is just full of, recycled ideas that that Ace Combat hasn't just done once, has done, 7 times. And, the last mission...
In 6 games.
In 6 games. No, there was Ace Combat 0. was not numbered.
Joint Assault.
Joint Assault and X. And
that's what we forget.
But, the last mission in the game, I was like, really? I think this is, the 3rd level in every other Ace Combat game. And the story is the Russians have the microfilm. Nukes have been stolen from Russia. Also, the spy was a fake. And also... espionage, right? It's just fucking shut up. Your accents, A, are all wrong. 2, who the fuck is the villain? I don't know what's going on. 3, you're trying to have these planes emote with horrible accents. You're not the Transformers.
Look, just show me something to shoot at.
Just point me in a fucking direction. And it has
I'm a pilot, I'm not a spy.
Yes, and it has a couple of cool ideas, like there's a thing where like lasers are coming down from space and you have to like dodge them and shoot nukes at the same time. So that was cool. And then it has a couple of interesting ideas, like to break up the flying missions, you'd use a UAV and like tracking this conversation of someone
online
and marking things for people to bomb. And it's like, well, that's an interesting idea, but you do it like 5 times. It comes off as a desperate attempt to be like Call of Duty 4, the flying around in night vision AC-130 mission, which is also 3 years too late, guys. Sorry. And just all the ideas come off as like, well, it should be more like Modern Warfare, I guess. I don't really have any reason not to. And it's also supposed to be in the far...
That'll look good on paper.
In like, I don't know how many years in the future, but enough that I'm sure they still wouldn't be using F-15s by then. Like, it's a good plane, but it's not good 30 years from now. I promise you that.
Can we, in the next segment, can we explain why it's a better plane?
Oh my god, I can do some research and explain it. F-22,
after the depression of 2015, the Air Force had to slash its budget
yeah, there you
buy
go.
new planes.
It's just something about the wrapper that it's in, and also the I don't know, it was just not fun, and the enemy AI was basically just, we're going to fly in a circle around you forever, and never engage in any advanced tactics, just like, I won so many battles by just banking left and holding the stick down and flying in a fucking circle and just waiting for them to enter my sights. It was just obnoxious as fuck. Really irritated.
But is it scoring well?
It's got like a 6 average.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Way to go, Ubisoft.
If I were scoring it, I'd be like a 5 or 6, but it just personally hit some buttons for me that just pissed the shit out of me.
Did something else come out that you wanted to mention?
Well, Ruse. I know Michael played a bit of Ruse.
Yeah,
we didn't talk about him at all, so I wanted to briefly go over it.
I was not a fan of that game. I did a positive-ish preview for PTOM, and I mean, it certainly has things that I think are interesting. It's just this very... Like it's an RTS. It has that like general's view where you can just like zoom in and out like on the battlefield, and like you can zoom in really close to the action and see it all unfold, or you can like pull out, and as you pull out, like the terrain gradually changes from actual terrain into like a topographical map in a situation room.
Ooh, like Google.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But like you can actually see the table it's on and the tent around it. That's kind of cool, and it has certain little cool things like you find later in the game you get the ability to camouflage your infantry by hiding them in forests, and then you can like ambush all these tanks. I think actually Something Awful had the best review.
This is real-time strategy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
RTS.
Civ 5 is turn-based. No, it's real-time. No, it's turn-based.
I think it's turn-based.
I'm not even going to weigh in on this.
That's the thing. Like,
it's always been turn-based.
If Civ 5 is coming out,
yeah,
go away.
Yeah,
other
bad idea. Well,
time strategy games.
Well, Civ 5 is not for consoles, so
yeah.
I mean,
so this Something Awful review highlights, other than that it's very slow-paced and kind of very elementary. It's aimed at people who don't really know strategy very well. Something Awful says, you can employ all the clever tricks and gadgets that the military has to offer, but they can't really help when you tell a unit to hide in the forest, and several minutes later he decides to walk into the open to gawk at a passing column of enemy tanks. 6 out of 10. And like that's the thing, that you put a unit in place, and then they will you think that like, okay, you can hold your ground, right? You can, I'm putting you in place specifically because there are those tanks over there, and you're going to stay here and defend this area against those tanks, right? I have like 6 other things I have to worry about, so I'm going to go pay attention to those things. I'm going to trust that you can do your fucking job. And so you go do those other things, and you come back, and the entire like dozen infantry units that you placed have all fled the town ahead of the tanks. The tanks haven't even gotten there yet, and they're running around the other side directly into the path of another oncoming column of tanks, and they have no fucking cover. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I had a strategy! You fucking ruined it, game! What the fuck is wrong with you?
I made it in real time.
I'm failing in real time.
There's so little I can say about these games.
And that's even if like you can say like, oh well, an infantry unit would flee from a tank. It was like, they had like twice as many tanks as there were infantry units in that same space.
But making decisions for you is one thing in an RTS, but making them incorrectly,
making bad decisions
is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Well, it's averaging a 78. I see IGN is an 8. Let's scroll down here.
Hopefully,
I can allow for the idea that it's good, but it's just not for me.
Hopefully, we'll be giving away a really good RTS sooner, later in the podcast. It's still up in the air because I found 10 copies. I want to give away TalkRadar stickers, free with TalkRadar stickers, and maybe a Games Radar pillowcase. I will give you a box copy of Supreme Commander.
1 or 2.
Is it important, Nelson?
No, not really.
Is it important?
It's
a Supreme Commander game. It's very good.
It is good.
It was highly acclaimed by people who
play
these kind of games.
Yep.
I'm sure Logan Dicker loved it.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure Don Stompleton, Don Stompleton, a PS gamer, they probably loved it. They probably loved it.
Computer Gamer
We
magazine.
need to launch a PS Gamer magazine. It's like original PlayStation.
Yeah.
You guys heard about Ark the Lad?
Yeah, Evan Latte loves it. Joss Augustiniak, he's a big fan.
Talking about all the hottest Alundra 2 cheats.
Gord Kavason.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I love you, PC Gamer. Please don't get mad at me.
They are sweethearts.
But I really would like to see some Photoshops just with that Wall Smith style with Login Dicker.
Oh yeah.
Login Dicker. I'm so mad at Logan for having the coolest name of all time.
Logan Decker.
Yes. I'm half Wolverine, half
Plus he's gonna deck you.
Part Blade Runner.
I was gonna say it reminds me of a Blade Runner.
Part Blade Runner
character.
Fucking Logan, your parents were too cool. You played Donkey Kong Country?
I did. I played the new Donkey Kong Country Returns.
The Kong has returned. You don't think that'll sell? No? I was doing some Rafiki.
Kong of the Jungle?
Just back from Disney again. I'm sorry.
It starts?
Fine, I'll play some Son of Man. Go.
Okay. Oh, Son of Man. June 99. Great movie. Yeah, I played Donkey Kong Country Returns, and I mean, when I played it at E3, and then I think I've said it on the podcast a few times already, like, I don't like it. I don't like the waggle control, and it's annoying. But I think what I found out by playing is I don't like the co-op. The two-player notion, like, Diddy has a jetpack, and that's a hover jump, basically.
Yeah.
When you're playing single-player, Donkey Kong basically has that hover jump because Diddy's on his back. So that starts playing directly into, if you play Donkey Kong Country, you know it's a lot about bouncing from enemy to enemy, and landing
barrel to barrel,
landing these very specific jumps and getting your timing down, and that's what it is. And when you have the jetpack, that changes how you hover and land and how you pace yourself. When you're playing two-player, you're Donkey Kong without that ability, unless Diddy's on your back. At which point the second player is literally just sitting there, sitting on Donkey Kong's fucking back. And I mean, it's fun. Like two people can play simultaneously, and it wasn't terrible. It's just like I couldn't get excited about it. But playing by myself, running through these levels, I was like, no, okay, this is really cool. The levels feel very alive. There's a ton of shit to do in them. So there's stuff to collect, like the Kong letters. There are still tons of those hidden bonus rooms. You break a wall, and oh look, there's a room, and you walk in. There's bananas everywhere. And then Rambi the Rhino was shown, so there's a Rhino level. And like the level with him was really cool because you're running and the level's collapsing around you. Like it's a temple that's crumbling. And like you're running and you do shake the remote, like you like shake it to Rambi does this charge.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, it's still annoying because it shouldn't be a fucking waggle.
But it's also, I found to flip up is easier to flip down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. Substituting a button press for a waggle is like, that's lazy. Yeah. But it was still a cool level. And then watching all like the leaves are moving, the water sloshing around, and like the backgrounds are very active, and like there's all kinds of things you can do to interact with the environment to discover new things, and that made the whole experience feel a lot more interactive and fun, and just a sense of discovery to it, while also still moving you forward and feeling very energetic. But like one of the cool examples was like, that
I think I'm gonna give that a
do it. That you saw in the trailer that like that sunset level where it's like there's silhouettes and like it's like Sin City, so they're solid black and they're
it's Limbo without the child death.
Kind of, yeah, and their red tie and red hat are showing. And that is a really cool level. It not only looks neat, it plays neat too. But like that is a good example of paying attention to the background and foreground, because while you're running through that area, there's a beach, and in the background there's just random rock formation. It just looks like a bunch of rocks floating around. But as you as you run through the level, you'll actually notice they all come together. This perspective changes, and the rocks all overlap. The background overlaps, and it looks like a giant banana. And if you sit there for a second, it's like, oh, and all these bananas shoot out of it and give you like a hidden...
But you could completely pass it by.
You could completely pass it by. And it's just like, that was a good example, like right from the first area of the game, like, oh, fuck, there's all kinds of cool ways to mess with the background.
It reminds me of the hidden Mickeys I discovered in... I'm just kidding. Please move on.
Please move on. But it had like the cart level, I didn't play any boss battles.
I didn't mind the cart level.
No, the cart level...
Except for the fact that, like, you sort of live and die by your... partner.
No, well, in this
I
case,
had a partner.
Well, yeah, in this case, it was just me. Like, I don't know that it's as strong as I would hope two-player.
It's very Donkey Kong Country.
But it did feel very much like a 16-bit game brought to life now. Like, I really liked it a lot. The music, tons of music ripped straight out of Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Like, that Sunset level is a very jazz flute version of that Donkey Kong
Maybe I can
Country
find
first level.
The Punch-Out realist music came out a little earlier.
Oh, yeah. That was cool, and I mean the minecart level was the same music. The overworld map was the same music. That I don't want to.
Oh shit!
It,
Fuck! I know what it is.
It's the same music. The bonus level, like yes. What's funny though, when I went into this appointment, I outgeeked the Nintendo guys who were there.
I'm finding I do that more often than not with everything I'm into.
So I walk in there, and the guy who's there is like, "Oh hi, he's from the Treehouse." Treehouse is the name for that team that works in Redmond. Oversees like they test games, talk about games, whatever. And they come down and demo the games. Treehouse so named because of Donkey Kong Country. Originally, that's why it was called Treehouse.
Jesus, dude!
Wonderful.
Did that pick up?
Wonderful.
There's no ventilation
look!
here.
We got it.
Wonderful fart punctuation.
Wow, sweet.
But
opposite of sweet.
So yeah, sour. But so we're like. He's like, oh, so you know the guy demoing it.
Did he? Yeah.
Did he? Yeah. He was like, oh yeah, and you know the original game was really known at the time for its graphics, and it was way ahead of its time, and made the Super Nintendo look really nice. I was like, yeah, well, ACM, and he's like, what? ACM, man, Advanced Computer Modeling. That's what they did when they pre-rendered the sprites, and then scanned that and made sprites out of the. And
hey, like, don't get ahead of me. That's not part of my spiel.
I know, and he was like, oh, okay, buddy, never mind. And then later when I was like, well, when does this come out? And he's like, November 21st. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And he was like, why? Like, oh, that's the same day the first Donkey Kong Country came out in 1994. That's really cool you guys picked the same day. And he's like, no, really? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I should know this. Like, I know this is esoteric nonsense they have no business caring about, but I was like, you guys didn't notice you put it out on the same... Like, you could market that. Like, it's Donkey Kong Country Returns on the same fucking day.
No,
like, that's important to me.
Reggie had a dinner date the day before.
Yeah, apparently
and an opening.
I don't know. But no, the demo was really cool, and the guys were all super nice. I just was having fun with knowing that I kept this bullshit knowledge in my mind. Did not see a water level with any aquatic ambience in it, and I'm going to be hurt.
If they've referenced as much as I
surely. But
surely
I also asked, why no regular controls? Because that's retarded. And they said...
Are there no regular controls?
Well, there weren't up to this point, because it was always shown with this waggle stuff, that I didn't find as obnoxious as I thought it would be when I sat down for an extended period of time. Because E3 was like 4 minutes. At PAX it was 5 minutes, so it's like, that's not a lot of time to gauge that.
I almost don't want to get... Go ahead.
But I asked, like, so any reason why you went this route and not another? Which, again, he's the Treehouse. I didn't think he was from Retro, so I didn't know if he was even the appropriate person. I should have paid more attention to that part. I was just too excited to play the game. But he was like, well, we're only really talking about this setup for now. So I'm like, oh, so there will be some better option. So there probably will be some kind of classic controller. Based off that response, I'm going to assume there'll be some option that doesn't involve shaking the controller.
They sort of like, they make an offhanded reference to the hardcore audience eventually.
Yeah.
They don't want to tell their install base that they've abandoned their
meanwhile, the week before, I saw Kirby's Epic Yarn. How does that play? Holding the remote sideways like a Nintendo controller with no waggle whatsoever?
Yep.
So stop mixing messages here and either decide that waggle was a waste of time for hardcore games. Not even hardcore games, traditional games. Let's just call them that.
Well, I may have missed the new release. Carnival Games came out this week with a Wii Motion Plus Pekin. That's the hardcore. What's that? What does Michael say about it? That is Michael Raparez doing M. Bison. Not amused. Okay.
Or M. Bison doing Michael Raparez.
Yes.
But yes. The thing I took away from it was a
this
really...
is delicious.
delicious. I came away from it really much more jazzed on it than I was when I went in. Because when I went down there, I was like, please, someone else
I was
take
telling
it.
you about it. You would like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, because the 2 times I'd played it, I was like, But the levels, and I'm hoping it's not a thing where they picked the like 5 coolest levels.
I would imagine that the 5 most done levels.
Yeah, well, the game's fucking finished.
Yeah,
it comes out in November, and they're like, it's not done. Bullshit, it's done. Like,
so you're gonna give it one of these.
Tentatively, yes.
That's not even a score.
Out of 10. Yeah. I definitely enjoyed what I played, and I was like, no, I really do want to keep playing. So that's a good sign. I left wanting to play more. So that's.
I don't want to get off on Need for Speed because I don't even think I'm supposed to say anything about it. But you've heard me say that I hated the Hot Pursuit, and part of my problem.
The new Hot Pursuit or the old Hot Pursuit?
The new one.
Okay.
Like I didn't like it, and part of it was because like I get it, and like, oh man, could I name names?
Right.
IGN, Giant Bomb, P-Tom, OXM. We get out and we're all put on multiplayer machines, and every one of those motherfuckers sucks. I kick all their asses, and I'm in first place driving by myself. I'm like, this game is fucking boring. And if it has a multiplayer focus, it's not going to work because of the. But then you don't realize like a lot of like long-standing people in our industry don't play every annual release.
Right.
But a bigger
a lot
part
of
that,
the annual releases get shunted off to newer hires.
A bigger part of that, like most people, kind of like E3 is a very weird experience, and you're not going into a game looking to have fun. You're doing something professionally,
right?
And so like they're not always looking to win. They're looking to see what the game is like. Mm-hmm. And I think when you played Donkey Kong Country, you had that perception. When I played Hot Pursuit, when I played it by myself, like I haven't even talked to a PR. It was it's the best Need for Speed game of the last like 7 years, and it doesn't mean anything to you two, but it means stuff.
Well, no, I love the original like Need for Speed.
Do you like Burnout?
Hot Pursuit. I like Burnout.
Then that's all. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. No, I like Hot Pursuit.
It's Burnout where you can play as a cop. It's fucking phenomenal.
I love anything that's as simple as cops and robbers.
It's Burnout.
It's fucking fun to me.
It's Burnout where you can play 6 cops versus 6 robbers. It's fucking insane. It's fantastic. I have not been, but E3 sullied it. Like, if I hadn't have played it now, I would have said like I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Because of who I was playing with, and I think who you were because you probably played Donkey Kong Country the first time with somebody else.
No.
Was it at E3?
It was at E3.
There were two. There were usually 2 people.
Yeah, there was, and the second time was with Michael at PAX.
Well, that's true. Problem, Michael's not very good at Donkey Kong.
What?
The original.
The original Donkey Kong?
Yeah, you're fine at
From
that.
1980?
Oh, you're beautiful at that. Just watching you soar over those pink beams. Like, I want to give you so many of these. And
you've never seen me play Donkey Kong.
All right. I'll take that. Just trying to move things along.
I did suck at that demo, though. I kept falling off of things.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that. It wasn't like
I don't know.
Second player's not carrying their weight. It was just like, I want that hover jump or I don't. Don't tease me with it.
Let's go into another break.
Okay.
Play some phone calls. Yeah?
In the break?
Yeah!
Yeah, when we get back.
Okay.
Fucking phone calls, man.
We play some phone. Good. I admire your enthusiasm, Michael.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You're lying.
I'm breaking up with you. We're going to some phone calls. Some admittedly terrible game deals, but something game related. That's a beautiful deal, Michael.
Is it?
And I want to announce a contest to win TalkRadar stickers with a free copy of Supreme Commander, boxed, mint, assuming I can get clearance and I didn't actually steal them from some other department.
Assuming we don't get an email tomorrow saying, did anybody see these copies
It's
of Supreme
9 o'clock
Commander?
at night, and I found a bunch of Supreme Commanders in an office, and I took them.
Yeah. Well, they were on what is traditionally known as the free table, and where people put things they want to get rid of.
And I played Supreme Commander and had fun with it. It's a great game. If you just want that, TalkRadar stickers, maybe a pillowcase, hey, we might have a contest for you. Somebody give us something. There it is.
The world is a carousel of color. Wonderful, wonderful color.
I'm Joel McHale from Blank Blank, and you're listening to TalkRadar.
Oh yeah! your feelings, got to live and learn. I know it's someone that'll make it through. Got no other options, only one thing to do. I don't care what lies ahead. No time, no guessing, follow my plan instead. Find a mystery no matter what that may be. Take my lead, I'll set you free. Follow me, set me free. Trust me and we will escape from the city. I'll make it through. Follow me, set me free. Trust me and we will escape from the city. I'll make it through, prove it to you. Follow me, follow me. I'll make it through, oh yeah.
Welcome to Hollow Wish and home of the Blade Kitten. It's here Kit Ballard works as one of the best bounty hunters in the business. Don't let her pink hair fool you. Kit is part cat, part girl, and wholly lethal. With her unique dark blade hovering at her side, Kit has made a name for herself, rounding up some of the most deadly scum in the galaxy. Also along for the ride is Skiffy, Kit's laid-back little sidekick who, when needed, serves as her protector. Join Kit, Skiffy, and the Dark Blade in the all-new action-adventure game, Blade Kitten. Blade Kitten is available on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade. For more information, go to www.bladekitten.com. Rated T for Teen.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast? Yeah!
Things are going perfect, babies. Wow, I'm getting a little... Third segment. Maybe we'll get, maybe game deals. They're brought to you by Blade Kitten. It's available on PSN and XBL.
Where should I go for more information?
BladeKitten.com, because the game's rated T for teen. Don't go there.
What if I go to Blade Cat?
Don't go to Blade Cat.
No Blade Cat.
You have no idea. It's really cute. I'm getting a little drunkle.
Little drunkle?
I can't figure out what to eat right now.
I need to eat a salad or something.
I know, but it hurts. Anything I chew hurts. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm still gonna have pizza tonight.
All right.
I'm still gonna have pizza tonight. I don't know what we're coming in with. We'll figure that out later. Probably a game music of the day.
Ooh.
You want to pick one, Elston?
Honestly, Tyler Nagata did RC Pro-Am this week.
Oh, dude.
And it was beautiful.
We'll do that. Because we are writing a feature that might include RC Pro-Am.
Oh, yes. It's posting today, actually.
Forgotten
franchises we want back. It's a feature just about series that used to be successful franchises and kind of just disappeared. And, maybe some of them had a good reason why, like the developer tanked or this, that, whatever. But that brand name still exists, and there's no excuse in a day where everyone wants to reboot and revamp everything they ever made, like with a new GoldenEye, a new Need for Speed, and a new Donkey Kong Country Returns, and everything's coming back. Mortal Kombat, and
every genre is coming back.
NBA Jams coming, like all these things are coming
Battletoads.
back.
I don't even know if we'll write about it, but I was just like Streets of Rage Final Fight. It seems like you can only be a side-scrolling beat 'em up if you're doing it ironically.
Yeah.
And
like Scott Pilgrim?
Like Scott Pilgrim, or like Deathspank. Like, why can't, like, Final Fight and Streets of Rage have had no why can't they just update what they already are and not go 3D?
Just that whole genre was just done to death so hard.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it.
And then, like, whenever they tried to do a beat 'em up in like the PS2 era, like every critic was just like, "Oh, this is so repetitive." It's like, well, that's what a beat 'em up kind of is.
But if you had an HD an HD version of a side-scrolling beat 'em up filled with wrestlers and Sodomites, those are followers of Sodom, who's in Final Fight,
right?
Obviously,
they're like little versions of them. With
exactly.
smaller helmets.
Yeah, Sodomites. You know what game deals.
Take my advice.
Game deals.
Save a little money for a rainy day.
What are you
also
buying?
Disney. We're going mostly Amazon this week. Muramasa Demon Blade. Guess what? $17.
That's a good
damn.
$17, and I wanted to focus on this because it's a weird time in game releases, and there's kind of a gap in between the A-list stuff.
Right,
a little bit, yeah.
Everybody wants to console gamer.
Everyone wants to avoid reach, basically.
Yeah, and Amazon has discounted I think under $10, all of these games. WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Who gives a shit? Crackdown. I do love the original Crackdown. It's $9.
Yeah, it's good.
Shadowrun. It's like hilarious to play. If you can find people who are willing to play with you, it's hilarious. $8. Project Sylphied. $9. Rock Revolution. Don't bother. But it's $4. Like if you need free shipping on something, on like a DVD, Rock, you can't go worse. Oh, excuse me, free shipping on a DVD. Golden Axe, Beast Rider. $7.
Yeah.
$7 on Amazon.
What a gross game.
And Clive Barker's Jericho, $5.
That is a great price.
I
beat that actually.
There's nothing. Okay, first you get the sensation of unwrapping a new game.
Yes,
that's true.
And I've said it a billion times. You can't know
For a
what's good
fraction of
unless
the
you play
price.
what's bad.
It's true.
And there's still something enjoyable about all of these games. So
I thought Jericho. I got it for like 20, and I thought this is totally worth it. And
there was potential.
It's got some
there.
problems, but it does feel like
it had a unique concept.
It's pretty cool. I mean, you know.
Incidentally, all you people, whenever I tweet about like all the games I haven't played, and who ask, tweet me saying, "Oh, can you give some away?" They're all shit like this.
Oh, we might give
wouldn't
some
want
games
them.
away.
Yeah, you might.
Not
mine.
That was an accident. But 360 BioShock 2, $19.99, also on Amazon. Michael, this is the deal for you.
All right.
That I wanted you to be excited about.
Tell me more.
It's not a game at all.
Isn't it? Then I've already lost interest.
All Scott Pilgrim books.
Ooh.
Are from $3.99 to $4.99.
Sweet.
You can get the entire series for $25.90, which puts you 90 cents over the free shipping barrier at Amazon.com.
Wow.
Good shit. All 6 Scott Pilgrim books
That's pretty
for
awesome.
$25. Like
if I didn't already have all 6 of them, I'd probably be really
But
excited.
a lot of people were like, I wanted to see Scott Pilgrim, but I missed it because they didn't know what it was. Like, we were sort of introducing it to them.
Damn it, I still haven't read book 6. When do you bring it for the plane ride on Friday so I can read it?
Talking to the wrong guy. PlayStation,
I will do this.
Okay.
PlayStation is celebrating its 15th anniversary in the weirdest way possible.
It's true.
By giving a shitload of Rock Band DLC away at half price.
I saw that.
Yeah. I don't want to be specific because just look. Some shit's like as cheap as 99 cents. It's really weird. And Dan Amrick at One of Swords, Guitar Hero 400. Look for that hashtag, Guitar Hero 400.
Guitar Hero DLC.
We give Guitar Hero some crap, but it's basically all about new songs and not the presentation.
I mean, if you got suckered into buying the last one, I mean, here you go, some free DLC.
I'm not complaining about 5 at all. It's just at that point I was just sort of tired of the genre.
Yeah, 5 I think is better than the new one.
I haven't played the new one at all, but
I may.
It doesn't matter. They all worked. All the DLC works.
The DLC is cool no matter what because
and I think
who cares what wrapper it comes in.
I think Xbox Live this week has the passing for 43% off at 320 points.
I should buy that. Considering how much I love Left 4 Dead, and I just never played it.
I played it to spoil it on Twitter, and that's all. Bill's dead. Next week, I think next month, I think Deathspank will be like 30% off on Xbox Live. Good shit.
I think Game Feast is coming pretty soon too, isn't it?
Game Feast, good old games isn't dead. Thanks for making us write an article and scaring everybody.
You assholes.
You assholes.
Good old games will return.
And that was Game Deals.
Take my advice, do as I say, save a little money for a rainy day.
Brett Elston.
How many prostitutes will Charlie strangle? What? I can't
He didn't
wait.
strangle them. He pushed her up against a coat hook.
And if she gets cut,
Yeah.
tough titties.
Whoopee!
No.
Well, depending on who did her
Inappropriate.
implants, they can be pretty tough.
Charlie will kill the most buoyant bitch on the strip.
Jesus Christ.
Um,
Any more misogyny you want to get out of our system?
It was
Let's
a
do
breast
now.
implant joke.
No.
Hold on, let's go back to Dan Amrick and Guitar Hero.
Hi.
Dan Amrick. There we go.
Hey, Dan.
Dan Amrick.
It's like he's
What
in
a
the
wonderful
studio.
man. All I had to do. And I do also need to announce Tyler Nagata's Halo Reach contest winners. Both of these users will receive a Bungie sweatshirt and a set of Halo pins and a Bungie. You ready?
Bottle cap opener.
Bottle cap opener.
That I asked Charlie not to get rid of so we could have a bottle opener for the top podcast that's not your lighter.
You mean when I'm not here?
Yeah.
Normally I'm the bottle opener. And the winners are Moon4567 and EA Raiden. He better not be an employee of EA. I hope that would be very weird. Yeah, congratulations, guys.
And definitely keep looking every Saturday. We have a Games Radar weekend giveaway. So there's Every weekend, something cool to give away.
I want to do a giveaway.
Do it. I dare
The one
you.
we talked about.
Supreme Commander?
No, we're giving away TalkRadar stickers.
Oh.
As a free prize with the stickers, you will get a unopened copy of Supreme Commander. You will get all you have to do, we're going to start a forum thread if I forget, because you know we have plans. Go into the GamesRadar.com/forums, TalkRadar podcast. Just, who would you like to be Supreme Commander? It's like Twitter, say it in fucking 100 characters or less.
Yeah.
Seriously, it comes down to if you want Supreme Commander, which is a confirmed fantastic game.
Yes, it is.
Albeit a little old on PC, not 360. Answer in the forums. Supreme Commander, yes, brought to you by TalkRadar. I'm confused who's sponsoring who now.
So you wanted me to read this while you load up some phone calls. Is that what it is?
That was true.
All right, so I saw on the forums, GamesRadar.com/forums. Don't go there. No, please go there. Just kidding. I don't even know if I'm
you're
kidding.
sending me mixed signals.
I don't even understand anymore. Psycho Boost. First of all, did not post this in the correct form, but whatever. In the correct thread. But he asked, I just watched this video of some girl pranking her boyfriend by turning off the TV with her universal remote while she was in the bathroom while her boyfriend was watching the Stanley Cup. Never heard of it. What would your reaction be if your girlfriend or mom turned off the TV while you were either about to complete an extremely hard level, beat a hard boss, or complete a game that you were working on for an extremely long time? Hopefully you guys will read this by your next podcast and can actually air it. So, what would we do if my mom or girlfriend turned off? I'd be really pissed.
I would be.
Quite honestly, that's pretty rude.
It actually happened to me quite recently. And
you gotta load sound effects.
This was an impression of my girlfriend. She was really mad. She was really mad at something, and I deal very poorly with
angry,
God, I'm not angry with angry women, and it really sucks. I've dated other women, and
I don't
just seeing when she gets her period, she becomes fucking infuriating.
They have pills for that.
I can't say this. She's gonna listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say
no,
that,
it was
one
of those arguments, and one of my biggest problems is if it sounds like an argument I've heard of a couple having on the street, and it's not a winnable argument, I'm just being fought with. I'm like, what you're doing right now is cliched, and I'm not playing.
Right.
I'm not talking to you, and you leave the house. Leave the house, or I'm not talking to you. And she shut off the game, and I knew it. At that point, it was part of the fucking cliche.
Yes.
And I couldn't get mad, or else I would be playing a part in the cliche. And so I didn't. And it's a bad end to a story, but God damn it, I want to have her on here so bad. She's a very good girl. I love her to death, Heidi. But she's I don't know how she puts up with me.
Can't live with him, man. I mean,
it's not can't live with him. She's got a couple of those things. I lead. It's not that I'm an irritating person. I lead an irritating life, almost by career. Almost by career. It's just who I am. She's struggling to understand that, and I understand her struggling to understand that.
No, I have nothing but positive experience with Heidi.
Did I say that already? We're going to Disney World. That we had our flights at 8, and then I'm playing Halo Reach until 2 in the morning.
Right.
Why wouldn't you fucking get mad at that? That doesn't make any sense. But for me and what I do, that makes perfect sense. We're having a lot of fun, and I didn't want to end it.
Right.
And it was a game I got to expense to play with you guys. It was why end it? And I tried. Don't you understand that? Not at all. Not at all. Hopefully she doesn't listen this far. Jesus Christ, I'm in trouble.
Could just delete all that.
Never getting poon again. Why? You don't have a fucking. You don't have if you have a better anecdote.
No,
feel free.
I have no anecdote.
Everybody knows who fucking your girlfriend is. I doubt you'd want to say one, even if you had one.
No, I don't have any of that kind of anecdote.
Someone would fucking PM her sorry about the noodle incident with Brad.
Yeah, probably.
I used the Calvin and Hobbes reference
noodle
to soften
incident.
it.
Yes. No, I got nothing. I don't think anyone's ever.
For the record, Carolyn's pretty
TV.
cool, and I didn't buy anybody anything at Disneyland, but I almost bought Diana something.
Really?
Yes. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was
I
something.
thought
It was something she made a comment on, and I'm like, "This is so fucking perfect, so fucking perfect." Diana was the only person I almost bought something for. I can't remember what it was at the moment, but I think that's important. At Disneyland, filled with fucking gaudy shit, Diana almost got a gift.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Diana Goodman, the host of our TalkRadar.
Goodman.
What was our question of the week last week?
Question of the week last week.
She incidentally would not just turn off my game.
Well, it was really good. We had an article about that, about the games your girlfriends hate.
Yes, it was in February.
And it's sort of
March
like,
this year.
In terms of that question, it's the worst case scenario, and I didn't get to participate because I didn't have a girlfriend. But
it's true.
But you guys did, and there's some of the greatest pictures I've ever seen.
Tyler did some great art.
The picture of you and Carolyn is probably one of my... It's you yelling at Call of Duty and Carolyn holding a Pokeball on top of a volcano.
Yes, it was the Ferris wheel mission in Call of Duty 4.
Oh my God.
Big Bird, where are you? And just playing on veteran, just dying over and over. Fuck you. And just the incessant just cacophony of...
And when I say, like, I was mad at my girlfriend for sounding like a cliche, being a guy yelling at a war game... Fuck! You become the cliche.
Yeah. Well, the question of the week last week was...
I play with headphones. Really?
Yep.
But then
Do
you
not
yell? But then you yell into nothingness. It's just dead silence. And
I yell if I'm playing with people, but that's very rare.
Michael grunts when he... I've seen you get upset at it. He's like...
Yeah, I'm very restrained in my anger. Like, if you were watching me play Castlevania Lords of Shadow yesterday, it gets very frustrating toward the end. And so I'll just do things like...
you hear a controller hit the desk a little harder than normal, but other than that...
Plonk.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm very restrained. But it's still... There's a lot of seething hatred under there. I'm just good at not expressing it physically.
Wait, were we on the question of the week?
Question of the week last week was, what's your stupidest game-related purchase?
And
what a great thread.
I want to turn this into an article.
Yeah.
Badly. And like, as in a paragraph written by you and cited, written by you. But what I want you people to do, everybody who answered, if you have a picture of this product and you personally, get a picture of it as large as you can, either update your thread or throw it in. I would love to have just an article of the stupidest shit you've ever bought. And so many of you had... fantastic ones, which we're about to read. And I especially love, like mine was just the Modern Warfare 2 night vision goggles, and it's just him with the night vision goggles on at night in night vision with a giant thumbs down. It's fucking awesome. I have your name here somewhere. Some of these are just funny stories. Do you have anything to add on this, Elson? Or there's a story you pointed out to me, and I have it written down.
It was a Knuckles cap.
Oh my!
I want a picture of that on the page because I think you're wearing. I think you're wearing a fake mustache too.
And the picture is just frowning at PAX like.
I want to see if I can remember. See who. This is why it's so fucking entertaining because so many of you included pictures.
Yeah, the pictures are what make it.
Oh fuck! Who wrote that?
Well, let's go through the list. We'll see.
Him. We'll go through the list. Here's what I had written down. This is without a computer, and I'm looking on my iPhone, and I can't type. Stupidest game purchase, Amtint, and this made all the sense in the world to me. Spore Galactic Edition, $80, 2 years of anticipation, completely wasted. Spore, and I tried to stay away from like just games you regretted buying.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of got peripherals cluster shard. Said my second broken PSP.
Jesus Christ.
That's a bad one too. And this is what's because Boondock Saint 54 had a good one, and I just had to put bullet points down because I had no ability to copy and paste, but rather take footnotes on your story. Halo's Game Fuel.
Oh, yeah.
He was excited about the game, knew that it was a marketing ploy, tried to fight it, tried it. For some reason, thought it tasted like cow piss, but had to keep drinking it anyway.
Yeah.
Became an everyday addiction, made him jittery in a way he didn't like. They were tired of the drink, and he bought a case. And then it just ends with like all caps. Why? Why? I jizz lots. He bought the Halo Encyclopedia, stating not only did it completely shit on the canon in caps, so I think he means a camera.
I'm just sort of imagining like somebody shitting on a cannon.
Oh my god. Ernest Rides Again.
I'm just thinking of like Tom Green. I can imagine him doing that.
Shitting on a cannon.
I think that was actually like part of his bum song.
My bomb is on everything. Yeah. Not only did it completely shit on the canon, most of it was from the Halopedia, the Halo Wiki, which is online for free. An encyclopedia should not say things like, it is speculated that... Fuck you, 343 Industries. quote, IG slots, not me, Microsoft. Please remove the sniper crosshair. Ravenbaum's story is a long one, but something I empathize with because it's things you can justify while drinking, and I won't pretend I don't drink a lot. I never get really hyped for a game. I never pre-order, and I usually wait a week to get a game because I want not only the reviews to come in, but to hear what the people, not just the fanboys, have to say.
Right.
That being said, Amazon started pushing Gears 2 hard pre-release. I got drunk one night and said, fuck it, to no one in particular, and went to Amazon to pre-order Gears 2, and there it was on the homepage, the motherfucking Lancer. That's no coincidence, by the way. Amazon knows what you look at and promotes what they thinks you like. Amazon Gears of War 2 Lancer, $160.
Oh god!
So that's the game plus the Lancer, right? There's no fucking reason a plastic toy chainsaw gun would be $160, right? I can practically go out and buy a real gun and chainsaw for $160, right? That's $60 for the game and $100 for a cool toy, right?
Right.
Or is it $70 for a limited edition of the game and $90 for the Lancer? I was drunk, so I didn't read the description.
Oh dear.
Once I talked myself into believing that the Lancer was less than $100, it seemed I'd be stupid not to buy this useless piece of shit for $160. You should note that my apartment at the time was just a room in LA. I had no room for a fucking full-sized assault weapon in my apartment so that it wouldn't be a total cock block to my love life. I just imagine like a single room, and you have a futon, a fucking Bob Marley poster, and a bloody chainsaw gun weapon.
And the girl's like, "What's that?" And you're like, "Oh, that's for after."
That's when I'm batting cleanup. I pulled out my credit card and bought the shit out of that Lancer. It was probably only $80, really. I mean, the packaging for the thing probably was like $10. I told my buddy, whom I bought my 360 from, that I'd pre-ordered Gears, and we should do the campaign co-op, pass the controller like we did through the Gears 1. I told him to come over after work the day Gears 2 came out. I was so excited when I got my Lancer, and... Game, where are you? You're hiding in the removable magazine, right? I looked closely at my order form, and shit, it was a $160 Lancer. A $160 Lancer that didn't work. Yes, everyone who bought one complained the first day because unless you MacGyvered a penny in the battery cartridge slot, the vibration noise would not work. Not only that, the styrofoam package had rubbed off half of the paint, which wasn't sealed on the plastic very well. A $160 piece of shit. Then my buddy called to tell me he was on his way over. I quickly packed up the Lancer, shoved it in the bottom of my closet, and piled clothes and jackets so I could forget about this stupid purchase. It was the grown-up version of a kid killing a bird with a slingshot, then throwing the bird into the woods when he realizes what a mistake he's made, as if not having to look at the bird is going to make him feel less guilty. And then I ran 5 to 6 blocks to my nearest GameStop, paid $60 for Gears, and ran back to my apartment and hid the receipt in GameStop under my bed. Like my friend, parentheses, like my friend would have cared to even remembered if I told him I'd pre-ordered it from Amazon.
Yes. Or gone looking. Can I see the receipt?
Let me see the receipt and let me make sure we're playing a legit game.
I don't know. If you got this from GameStop, I'm not sure I can play it with you.
We played a bit that night.
This is the Amazon version, right?
This is the most painful part. We played it a bit that night. He wasn't really into it.
Oh, man.
For the record, I did love Gears of War 2. Whenever I start to get excited about a game, I remember my $160 Lancer. For the record, it is pretty badass.
It is a cool-looking gun.
And this is, I love simplistic shit like this. It makes it easy to read in the podcast. Ravenbaum's story was one of the longest. Captain Head, a fucking rumble vest for the Nintendo 64, and he showed it to me, and it looks like those idiotic things like an embedded reporter wears, like when the Iraq War started, only with a Nyko logo on it. Fucking terrible.
I remember those things.
No rumble controller means vest. I just... WJRA356 bought the Alone in the Dark limited edition for $360. Came with a fucking figure that looked nothing like the protagonist.
I think I have one of those sitting on my desk.
It had a different hairstyle, for Christ's sake, but I eventually got rid of it when I begged my local game station to take it for a £7. I think that's like $1,000, despite them having 8 of them. Good for you. Glad you dumped it off. I think this is the one you pointed out to me, Brett. Just here to win shit. I know why he signed up for the forums. We might be giving the stuff out later. I'm going to announce some winners. Don't forget to remind me, because I already forgot.
Okay.
I went to Japan in the summer of 2000 with the Michigan Wrestling Federation. Don't mess with the Wolverines, buddy.
Not WWE fake shit.
We look like two states, but we're only one. Yep.
One of us is a mid.
Improv is lacking today. Freestyle.
Tired.
I'll finger you with the continent. A Michigan motherfucker. My hands in the water. A freestyle amateur stuff. Not that you have any idea what that means. Just know it's real stuff, not the WWF show. I'm guessing it's that shit that starts with somebody on all fours and with some man embracing you on his knees.
So actual wrestling.
Yeah, like the beautiful kind. The kind that's okay to be turned on by.
The kind that's really about two men and their love for one another.
You think, yeah, the kind of shit that happens to me and Michael every once in a while.
Yeah, totally.
You think I don't know about wrestling just here to win shit? How about this? How many times have you checked a guy's oil? That's a move in legitimate wrestling. It involves a pinky in the butthole. So just here to win shit is in Japan on his high school wrestling tournament. I had about $300 walking around money for 2 weeks while we toured the country wrestling area high school teams. Again, that doesn't sound gay at all. Wrestling boys around the world.
Imagine it like happened like in an anime where they just showed up unannounced and
Yeah.
they're like, we are here to challenge you.
You all fours on the mat. We will take your dojo sign.
What do you want to play, skins or skins?
More like Sergeant Hatred.
Sergeant Hatred!
Hank, I'm sorry.
Just here to win shit, I just want to love you. You gotta listen to me, oh God! Sergeant Hatred.
I've been watching too much Venture Brothers.
No such thing.
Suffice it to say, I saved over $100 of that because I thought Final Fantasy IX came out just in time for me to get it before we left Japan. Totally not realizing that Final Fantasy and all the other massive releases had been coming out on Fridays in Japan since around the beginning of the PlayStation. Factoid I didn't know. I was hoping I'd get one copy to sell and one to play, even though I have no knowledge of the Japanese language.
Oh dear.
On the last day before we left, realizing that I wasn't going to get Final Fantasy IX, and having gone without plenty of other cool and interesting purchases over the last 2 weeks, ignoring them in lieu of the coveted Final Fantasy IX, just so I could buy some video games, I ended up picking up Parasite Eve 2, Biohazard Code Veronica. I didn't have a Dreamcast. And those two games, and these games are basically worthless in the U.S. And they don't even have the same reverence as the FF series. So stupid was this purchase that I still have these games unopened on my bookshelf today, and they're still fucking worthless. Taking up space and hardly worth the time and effort to pose for the pics for this thread, which he posted with his tickets to Japan.
I saw that, yeah.
Beautiful. And again, please go post pics of what you're talking about. Add more. We'll have a new question of the week, but I would love to see this as an article of all the stupid shit Games Radar's users have bought. And our very last standing user, Phantom of the Crankor. Nice Misty reference. Prince of Space. His stupid purchase, well, I got 3 Zelda tattoos. No, wait, that was some other idiot.
Yeah. That sounds like a worthwhile endeavor. Well, does he know there's 4?
New users! And I had limited internet access this week. Al Swearingen hates cocksuckers, which is only okay. And again, wait. I like what happened in this thread, which means we can post your text and your picture and attribute it to you. Guess when we can't do that? When you include something foul in your name.
That's true.
So keep that in mind when creating your profile. Please. It did used to entertain the fuck out of us, but we can't post it on the main site.
Yeah.
Aquapimp82, Kev, HorseDick.mpeg, which I can't believe he made a Miss March reference, and I can't believe I got it. Wow. Crash Bandicoot action figures from Naughty Dog right before they washed their hands of the series. He bought as many as he could. Goose is the guy I was talking about with the Modern Warfare 2 goggles. Bean Pie Chef in Chief. Dick Smash McIroncock.
Wow.
This I think this works better. If you heard me laugh really loud today, it was Mixmaster Race, and it's just a picture of Hitler
What, turntables?
Now, that might have made it better. Mixed Master Race. Do we have a new question of the week? Yelston?
Yeah, I did want to point out also, just because it touched me personally, Amnesiac in the forum said he bought Cross Edge for full price. Oh, poor.
Why did so many people say Baroque? Like, did that swindle people somehow?
Well, it was like an Atlas RPG that you just kind of assume maybe this will be another one of those quirky, cool things that Atlas is going to be in on.
Wait a minute, why did you ask me to get a Shinobi noise?
Maybe it wasn't Atlas after all. That wasn't the sound.
It was Revenge of Shinobi. It's all I had, and I had no access to the internet or my computer.
Because I thought we were going to talk about the Forgotten franchise.
I see.
That's not the one I wanted anyway.
I see.
But because like Cross Edge to me was the same thing where I was like, oh, Disgaea, Atelier Iris, and Darkstalkers crossover, and Artnelico, that sounds awesome.
Oh, right, yeah.
And the game's
it sounds really good.
Shit.
It sounds great.
But on that subject...
Phone calls.
They are ready.
How did you get him to say phone calls?
I don't know.
Can you play the beginning again?
Is that funny?
It's so... Something about Randy Savage is never not funny.
Do you you don't know what that's from?
It's Bonesaw's ready.
Yeah, but it is me. That wasn't disputed, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell it's obviously not Randy Savage saying phone calls.
It was something I had meant to do, and I remember I kept asking you, please remind me so we do a phone calls is ready sound effect. And we never did, so I just did it live and echoed it. So when it happens for the first time, there's no reaction from anybody.
Right.
Like, I didn't just all of a sudden echo and get 1960s applause and exported it, and we have phone calls already. First phone call.
You fucking assholes.
That's better.
It's Rich from Vancouver. I'm sitting in a emergency room right now because I've broken my wrist, waiting for an x-ray. I'm listening to TalkRadar. I think it's 119 with the Reach review. You guys doing the Inception music? Picture this. I'm in a very elderly community right now, and the average age of that waiting room has got to be 97 years old. I'm busting my balls laughing out loud with my headphones on of some shit dicks fucking comments on the Halo Reach. Good job, you guys. Absolutely hilarious. Made me look like an ass, and probably those people in there are fearing for their future. That's great. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, buddy. I'm glad that came out. I haven't heard that yet. Why is this... What's up?
Don't worry about those people. They'll be dead soon.
That's right.
What they think of you doesn't matter.
That's right. Don't worry about people who are basically fertilizer. Yeah. Why is this phone call a minute and a half? I said under 30 seconds. Strangle me if this is you. I swear to God. Wait.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Strangle Me one.
What did I just say?
I'm calling because I'm listening to TalkRadar 119 over here at my job, and I'm like halfway through it, and you guys are making me laugh my fucking ass off over here. One of the funniest ones that I've heard in a while. But I'm just like appalled at the fucking comments that people leave on Charlie Barrett's review of Halo Reach. Like,
pretty crazy.
What the fuck is wrong with people out there? Like, seriously, I got a fucking message for everyone out there who doesn't like Charlie Barrett. All of you can suck a fucking cock.
Whoa!
Fucking choke on the thick white ejaculate that comes from deep within its testicle sack.
Well, bam!
You fucking assholes have some balls to try to like bash this man and say that he should get fired, and it's insane. It's a fucking game, you fucking assholes. Jesus, I'm passionate about music and video games just as much as the next guy, but Jesus, don't fucking like try to bash somebody and destroy their entire like credibility in the industry and what they do best. You know, it's like Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, it just pissed me the fuck off. Charlie, you're the fucking man. I support your review 100%. And you guys are the fucking shit. That's it, man. They strangle me, and fuck all you fucking Charlie Barrett and Games Radar haters. Lady off.
Yeah, thank you, Strangle Me.
Thanks, man.
Always nice to hear from Strangle Me. Seriously, Strangle Me. Start your own fucking podcast. He's very interesting to listen to.
It is.
He always calls and leaves us like 8-minute phone calls. And
well, last week
they're great.
Last week you're driving around eating retarded pigs.
I know. He knows I was kidding. He's so fucking cool all the time. What am I supposed to do?
I'm just driving around eating retarded pigs all day.
It's narcissism. Someone calls up and speaks for 2 minutes on my fucking show? No, I don't think so. More.
Hey, TalkRadar. This is Dick Smash McIroncock from the forums. I have a question.
Speak of the
for
devil.
you guys.
Question.
I want to know what game that you played and liked that you had previously bashed and hated and told everybody that it sucked, but you ended up and enjoyed playing it.
Not to shrug off.
That is my message.
Not to shrug off your question, Ironcock, but Brett and I both discussed that. We both stated our disdain or indifference for Donkey Kong Country and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Oh yeah,
turned our opinion around.
By sheer chance, that happened to be in this episode.
For me, it's Jaws Unleashed.
Oh.
I absolutely hated it the first time I played through it, went back and played it again, and thought it was amazing.
Oddly enough, the one product in the universe I associate with Michael and probably will forever.
That's true.
I'll never not do that.
We have the most Jaws Unleashed coverage on the internet.
You could have been some cool samurai with a brand of cigarette. Instead, you're Jaws Unleashed. Every time I see it, Michael Raparez.
Yeah.
If only we knew.
I like this. A nice 15-second phone call.
TalkRadar. I wanted to say something to you.
Oh, God.
Take my advice and do as I say.
Okay.
Save a little money.
Right.
For a rainy fucking day.
Oh, man!
You're buying.
Thank you, sir.
You can use that as an alternate opening sometime.
Ooh, yeah, I do.
Sure.
Oh, shit. How might I do that for you, sir? That's a good idea. Let me save this file. I'm just kidding. I don't actually do this on the fly.
Hey, guys. I'm waiting for my daughter and my wife to get out of ballet practice, and it fucking sucks. Thank you for making the wait that much easier.
Hey, your daughter and your wife sound like a couple of homos sitting there at ballet practice. Oh, look at me making a jerk-off motion with my tutu on. What's this? Slippers, look at me. Pirouette, position 5. Don't even need the bar.
Christ. How do you do that?
What? Just I don't know.
It's like you really are, your consciousness is telefragged by a fucking Italian man, and you become someone else.
He allows me to say inappropriate things that would get me in trouble normally.
So it's a character.
Or would get me in trouble in the first segment when the bosses listen.
It's also a problem.
Hey, guys, it's David again. I got a question. Why doesn't anybody ever talk about how hot Carolyn Goodmunson is?
Whoa.
Are we just skimming over this fact the girl likes Pokemon?
Careful.
I mean, that gives you at least a 9 right there. All right, bye.
I mentioned one time that Carolyn Goodmanson was a fox, and Brett Elston still has a testicle on his desk. Every day. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with this question at all.
I don't know.
It's fucking every. I think I've said that before. I didn't know a lot of women who gamed, and I came out here, and everyone I've met in the industry is sort of a fox. And it took me a second to get over, and now it's just professional.
Yeah.
And now it's just professional. Everybody who works with us is technically gorgeous. Every woman who works with us is technically gorgeous, and now I just I just rather talk about Halo and Pokemon with them. You just forget.
Much. Hey guys, at TalkRadar, it's Yoel, also known as JCDen825 from the website. Just gotta say, again, I absolutely love your podcast. My week is not complete without it. So I would just like to ask you guys another question. What do you think is the manliest game ever made? For me, it's Duke Nukem, which, for many obvious reasons, babes, cheesy action, one-liners. I mean, it's just great, and I think it's the manliest game ever made.
That's a really
So
good
I'd just like to know what your answers would be, because, I'm interested and I value you guys' opinion. Oh, and Michael Raparez is the best for no apparent reason.
All right,
bye.
Thank you. Attaboy, king of
no apparent reason.
I'd say there are many apparent reasons.
Reparent reasons?
Elston, you were on top of things today.
That's the drum that makes me bounce extra high.
I don't know why. What's it called?
As if I were
timpani?
If I was playing Wayne's World for Super Nintendo, that would bounce me through the roof.
God, You're lucky I remember that. As I'm
Excellent.
shooting bolts with my guitar.
Excellent.
Even when I'm playing as Garth, who played drums.
For some reason, Conan comes to mind. It's just
God!
Just a
Good
meaty,
answer.
beefy dude, like with topless. Oh, Conan, please help us. We're
Take me and crush me with your love.
Crush me with your love.
Crush
And they're
me.
all chained up topless.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, you...
Pretty fucking manly. I'd have to say any game in the Choaniki series, just because like it doesn't get much manlier than a game where all the sprites are like grimacing muscle men. And I mean, it's creepy as fuck and extremely gay, but
It's manly.
If you're taking manly literally, it is manly. Jesus Christ.
Muscle March, too. Muscle.
Yeah. Oh man, that is.
Let's put that in there.
Even the women are manly in that game.
Beautifully manly. God. Wait, hold on. I'm going to hit the button with my heart on.
Hey, TalkRadar, this is Cleanse247 from the Forums, calling from Canada. I'm just calling to say how much I love this show. I look forward to listening every week, and I appreciate all the hard work you guys put into it. Thanks for taking time out of your lives and making something for us all to enjoy. It's such an awesome podcast. It's #1 for sure. And yeah, anyways, you guys always make me laugh every week, and I hope the show goes on for a very long time because I will always be listening. Thanks again. See you guys.
Thank you. Hell yeah. Giving you a victory.
But think.
What's up, guys?
Whoa.
TDar Listener 100. No, I'm not high. I'm just laughing.
Did you run to the
from the
top?
fact you ended episode 119 with jazz? Really?
Did we?
Upbeat jazz?
That's Cowboy Bebop.
Fair enough, I guess. Had a great time playing Halo Reach, by the way. Doodle.
That was Tyler Wilde did a Cowboy Bebop song.
All right, last phone call I have on deck. Last phone call.
Data, come close.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, Captain Picard.
Don't come.
Oh, assimilate me into your collective.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. Oh! But that was for you.
The fact that he knew a bunch of lingo to use, I'm okay with it.
But why did he do it as C-3PO? Oh, fuck me. Oh.
It's an exaggerated Picard. Oh. Actually, it sounded like...
Oh, Captain.
Also, why don't you bend over?
It sounded like Stewie.
It did a little bit.
Oh, Data.
He's become every frou-frou British accent in the world. Oh, Stewie.
Well, again, the hotline is 1-877-404-1337, extension 327. We are getting a new setup in the podcast area, so we may be able to acknowledge more of these phone calls in the future. Like, we got a huge backlog. I bet hundreds of calls.
Those really were the most recent.
Yeah.
And we're missing a week in between.
Yeah, it's a shit
I don't know what else to do other than monopolize an entire podcast playing all your phone calls.
Yeah, if you don't mind the idea of a podcast,
and I know you want your phone call played, but you don't want to hear everybody else's phone calls.
It's true.
Do you?
Because we could do a podcast that's nothing but phone calls, and it would fill an entire podcast. But that would probably be annoying.
What I'd like to do, since we're in this room, it seems feasible to figure out to make a live call-in show.
Could be.
So we could. What if it was just out of curiosity? Maybe put this in the 120 forum thread. If you could call us once a week and just ask all the questions you want, we could have a 5-minute discussion. Would you be interested in a separate podcast that went up on iTunes? I'm very worried about breaking up what we do into different things, but clearly,
I mean,
this
the amount
is
of
hell for me. And
the amount of phone calls, it's a huge. We want them, and I love them, and I want to play all of them, and I hate that we're sitting on so many. But it takes time to get them, play them, react to them, and then it makes this podcast even longer than it already is.
I love the idea of having, and since we're basically moving to the plugs area, I did an interview with Front Door Gamer with Steven over there. I was so glad I got to he's straight up fucking Army Ranger, so I'm glad I got to clarify my statements. Did we read about that comment? We talked about the comment last week. It wasn't bashing the military. I was saying how the titles of Call of Duty don't make sense when you're doing espionage for a hard drive. Nobody was drafted, and nobody's getting a medal.
It's not a Call of Duty.
It's not a Call of Duty. It's highly paid mercenaries that don't answer the president. That's not a Call of Duty.
The new question of the week.
Oh, my bad.
Really quick, just because we played so much Halo Reach over the weekend, and just Halo Reach in general, multiplayer heavy game. And I don't think we've done this exact question, but if we have, you can answer it again or update it. I don't think we have. What's a multiplayer game? What's the dumbest multiplayer game that you've spent the most time on that you're just like, I can't believe I've wasted this much time? Not something good. Something that's like, why the fuck? I spent so much time playing this multiplayer.
What was that? I forget what it was. It was an original Xbox game. It was a monster truck game. And there was a soccer mode in it.
Oh, yeah.
And we turned it on, like, because probably fucking Michael needed a screenshot for a feature.
Right.
Everybody came in to watch monster trucks play soccer. The boss, like our old boss, Steven, came out and played. Like, this is amazing. And like the whole day, everybody played monster truck soccer. It's a monster truck and a giant soccer ball.
There was a Wii game that did that in the Wii launch that was monster truck.
Well,
soccer.
And I do remember like the Excite Bike soccer. Like I played way too much Excite Bike 64 soccer.
Oh, okay.
I played way too much of that.
I'm trying to think of something like. I had something that made me think of this question. Now I've totally forgot what it was.
I don't know why. Well, I know why I played a lot of Mario Kart Battle Mode. It just it seems odd that like. I don't want to do that anymore as much as it was like the first time I was stayed up for 24 hours without realizing it was Mario Kart Battle Mode.
Yeah, Mario Kart Battle Mode was definitely a super addicting hours at a time just lost on that. But it was fun at the time and I don't regret any of it. So there was something I fucking thought of and that's why I lost it when we came in here. Michael, anything?
Pretty much any MMO. Star Wars Galaxies and Final Fantasy XI I've spent way too much time on.
Help me out, you
I have a
encyclopedic fools. Did Karnoff have a one-on-one mode?
The original Karnoff?
For the NES.
I'm pretty sure it was just one player.
Just a one-player game.
It didn't have a mode where you... Like, I remember like an NES game with like a ridiculously dumb one-on-one
Double Dragon
mode.
had a one-on-one mode. There was like there were different sprites, different music.
It was like bigger sprites.
Yeah,
it was not Double Dragon. I forget what it was. It was when some shitty like shirtless guy and
Fist of the North Star maybe.
Was that on the NES? It had to be NES.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it had a one-on-one mode.
I don't know. I
remember that like the Game Boy version was like a shitty one-on-one fighter.
It was in between Street Fighter in the arcade and it coming out in home consoles. And we found this old game that allowed you to punch and kick one-on-one, and our minds were blown. Like, where was this? This is here the whole time.
Not Pit Fighter, was it?
No, it was on the NES. Like, I don't know what it was. I do not know what it was.
Maybe it was Fist of the North Star. I'll just imagine it was.
You know what? I will give you this in retrospect. That is really loud right now.
The one this wasn't the one that spurred the idea, but for some reason, like I think summer 2000, we spent a shitload of time playing Turok Rage Wars for N64. Not Turok 2, not Turok 3, or whatever Turok 3 became. I actually don't remember. Or even Armorines while we're at it. Turok Rage Wars, which was a multiplayer designed game, but it was 4-player split screen in 64. And I remember, like, we just like for weeks at a time played the shit out of that game, and it was never really all that fun. It was just, well, we're kind of done with GoldenEye, and Perfect Dark wasn't that great, so.
If I ever explain my trepidation, like when I was talking shit about Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, like because they only showed us the online mode and how it looks like Facebook and you can do other challenges. Midnight Club 2 was like the first like racing game, like holy shit, online, fantastic. And when you finish the game, you get a hyper-violent like fucking DeLorean, runs at light speed. So if you hadn't finished the game, you could never beat this person. So you just had to keep playing and keep playing and keep playing online. And so like the only people who could win were, I don't know, it was like the first time I ever saw like, wow, balance. They didn't think about balance at all.
Right.
That's where balance comes in. And so it came down to like me and like a fucking 69 Corvair and somebody else in a jet-fueled DeLorean.
Oh, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4.
Really?
Has everyone takes turns playing, and then it goes through all the computer turns, but me and one of my friends like would just stay up for hours and play Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4 for Super Nintendo. Pretty good music, though. But you hear the same music for those entire hours, and it was like the drafting troops, planting crops, making deals with neighboring feudal areas. Like, it's just hours. And while the one's playing, the other one can't play at all. And so much, like, I bet a whole year just spent, cumulative, just spent playing Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Yeah, I've already, well, no, not for no reason.
Just thinking, like, I remember playing, like, a bunch of shitty fighting games in the 16-bit era, like okay, we're kind of sick of Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Fatal Fury, and Ranma was one of them.
Yeah,
I loved that game.
It was super pretty though.
It was, yeah. And I remember being really pissed when the sequel, which was like the third fighting game, didn't come out, even after it was like heavily advertised in EGM. Yeah,
that's how I found out what Ranma was.
Really?
Yeah, from the arcades.
Oh, see, from the arcades?
Yeah, like from the arcade Ranma game.
I didn't know there was an arcade Ranma
That's
game.
what I was talking about. Like
there was a Super Nintendo one. I remember that.
No, it was the one-on-one fighting game for
Really?
the arcade. Yeah,
Huh.
like, it was. I'd never heard of it before. I'm like, holy shit! Here's a one-on-one fighting game that looks like a cartoon.
I've never heard of that. I need to look into that.
Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, and oh god, the Ranma game for PlayStation. I lusted after that thing for ages, and I finally rented it and got it. Like, it's an import, and it's so bad. It is like the ugliest version of Tekken you've ever seen.
Oh god.
I
like
remember
that Dragon Ball Ultimate Battle GT.
That was better.
Was that on PlayStation?
Yeah.
I remember my buddy Priest. He learned Japanese to play that game.
The Ranma game or the Dragon Ball game?
The DBZ game.
Oh my god.
And it was pretty terrible. And then like that fucking fighting game came out forever. And was it Cyforce, where you were like in a cube and it was like a normal one-on-one 3D fighting game, but you could move up and down.
I know which one you're talking about.
Holy shit! Did we try and play that and pretend we were having a good time?
Heavy Metal Geomatrix, played a lot of that. But yeah, I was thinking like there were a bunch of shitty knockoff fighting games that came out in the 16-bit era, and I played a ton of those. Like I played one, I can't even remember what the fuck it was. I just remember that one of the characters was a quote-unquote bullfighter in like a white do-rag who like had a rose and would throw the rose and go like, "Ole, ole."
I know what you're talking about. What the fuck? Else than
awful.
Nothing?
No,
help!
No.
I almost want to say Power Instinct, but I know that's not right because Power Instinct actually had personality.
My go-to random fighting game that, like, remember that one was Doomsday Warrior.
Probably like Hard Moves or something, some shit like that. I don't know.
If I played a lot of
Doomsday
Warriors for Super Nintendo. The most like depressing fighting game I've ever played. I swear every ending is everyone dying, and it's the most depressing music I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
And I remember playing it with this huge storm is going on outside. Actually, it happened on the night of a very well photographed, weird, atmospheric event in the sky in Southern Illinois, which was
Fire in the Sky?
No, shut up. It had, like, when you get a big storm, it's like just overcast black clouds or occasionally green clouds or just some crazy color.
Clouds?
Yeah, green clouds, man.
You live next door to Mr. Burns? What the fuck?
That's when some serious shit's about to go down. That's tornado weather. But in this case, it was like solid block of clouds, horizon to horizon, except in the center of the sky, also end to end, like north to south, a complete split in the sky, no clouds whatsoever. Just like somebody used a giant sword and cut the sky in half.
Or like Moses did a handstand?
Yes, sort of. Like someone split the clouds.
You know how much I wish that was funnier?
It was technically funny.
Really do.
Technically hilarious.
I know.
But I'm caught in my own awe of.
Sorry.
Well, this thing, like, my friend has a picture of it, and I probably won't be able to get it in time for Friday. But
did you film it and go, "What does it mean?"
No, but like there were helicopters. Like, there's an airport nearby, and there's like helicopters flying through it. Like, what the fuck? And like no one knows what the fuck. And to this day, I don't know if they ever explained it, but it was like very clear. Like,
it was ID1, right?
Yeah, it was the first time it happened. It was just really, but I was playing Doomsday Warrior at the time, and I was like, "This game's so stupid."
Double cloud,
whoa.
Doomsday Rainbow all the way. Oh,
Doomsday
Rainbow.
So go to GameZero.com/forums
and answer a question.
Question of the week: what is the dumbest multiplayer game you spent the most time invested in? This, just like, why did I do this? And we'll read your answers next week.
You were did you meet Larry at PAX from OC Remix?
Yes, Larry Oji.
Have you listened to the Donkey Kong Country 2 album?
I haven't listened to it yet, but I love the package that it comes in.
I see.
It's amazing.
That will not make a good ending song.
I could pick one.
Yeah, go ahead. Just something sort of related to what we talked about.
Okay, taking us out this week is a Donkey Kong Country 2 song from Overclocked Remix. The remixer is Overclocked Remix Protricity. It's from Sticker Brush Symphony, which is the same song that was, I guess, played in the break. Or played it in the break? No, it's a fantastic remix. The remix is from 2002, but I mean, it's just a great song. It's from the stick. It's called Brambles in the Breeze. Is the name of the remix. I don't know. It's just a very nice, low-key, mellow kind of song from a soundtrack that I originally wrote off because I didn't like DKC2 that much. I didn't like Dixie, and I didn't like the collect coins to advance through levels. But this song is the first one that kind of eased me, and maybe that soundtrack is worth something after all. And then this kind of opened me to, wow, DKC2 does have another very good soundtrack from David Wise. So this one again is Protricity from Overclocked Remix.
Sounds good to me. Next week, talking about Enslaved and Lords of Shadow
and Castlevania. And we'll probably have some stories from Vegas.
Oh my God! I hope something terrible happens.
I hope nothing terrible, but I hope something hilarious.
A hangover ruined it for everybody.
This is not Chris's blood.
Whatever. If it's my blood, I probably deserved it. Like, nah, dude. Friends stab each other.
It's true.
Yeah.
120.
Groovy.